This afternoon, Rugby League roars into action.
He's going to go horribly close, the big man.
Sunday football.
That was fabulous footy. Unbelievable stuff.
The continuous call team.
Bang, 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 bang. Throws a dummy. Oh, what a great tackle.
David Morrow, Daryl Broman, Mark Riddell, and Mark Levy.
Stop till we're legend.
Penrith Panthers.
Gee, they'll pull the grandstand down if he scores.
Parramatta Eels.
He scored under the black dot. Oh, what a try.
Now, live right across Australia, Mark Levy.
Yeah, it's time for the local derby here at Panthers Stadium. Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday afternoon rugby league at its best with the Penrith Panthers taking on the Parramatta Eels in the opening round. A turbulent pre-season for the Panthers, who have lost Bryce Cartwright, Matt Moylan, so some big shoes to fill in 2018. There's also these reports the players aren't getting along with coach Anthony Griffin, so will the man they call Hook see out the season out here in Sydney's West. They're up against the Eels, who are being widely tipped to have a great year. They welcome back Jared Hayne, who's one of their favourites, game number 200 this afternoon. And don't underestimate their coach Brad Arthur either. He is fast becoming one of the most respected mentors in the NRL competition. I've mentioned the team news throughout the afternoon for those network stations just joining us. For the Panthers, Moses Leota will start, so too James Fisher-Harris, Regan Campbell-Gillard and Viliami Kikau go back to the bench. The Eels 1-17, no changes. The lead referee for the match, Ashley Klein, his assistant Matt Noyan, the senior review official is Jared Maxwell, and alongside him is Luke Patton. Earlier in the Jersey Fleet for Shimano, the Panthers 26 beat the Eels 18, while in the New South Wales Cup, Wentworthville 32 beat the Panthers 24. And following this match, we're heading to Cbus Super Stadium where the Gold Coast tackles Canberra to wrap up the opening round. Let's welcome the continuous call team. We'd love to hear from you throughout the afternoon. Let us know where you're tuning in to the coverage, 2gb.com, 4bc.com.au, and click onto the feedback icon. But Daryl Broman, as we say good afternoon to you once again, it doesn't get much better than this. Sunday afternoon footy at a packed Panthers stadium.
No, it's fantastic to watch. I'm not sure I'd want to be playing out there though, Mark. It looks pretty hot out there. There's not much of a breeze about, and it looks stinking hot out there. The boys in the warm-ups, you can see, were grabbing towels and wiping the sweat from their brow. So this is going to be a battle of attrition out here. Look, it should be a great game. Local derby, Parramatta v Penrith. I've gone Parramatta, but I'm not confident. I love their backline. I think it's a fabulous backline. And if their forwards, as I said before, can do a decent job on the Panthers, I think their backs can finish the Panthers off. So I'm tipping Parramatta.
All right, David Morrow will be calling all of the action for us. David, there's been some spirited battles between these two clubs, given the close proximity that they're in. It should be a beauty this afternoon, as we say. A very good afternoon to you as well.
Yeah, look, it should be a classic. I mean, really, these two teams, it's more than possible they'll be there in the top four at the end of the year. They are two of the better teams in the competition, you would think. Penrith perhaps a little disappointing last year. Parramatta making the top four and going out in straight sets, but they will have learned a lot from that. Jared Hayne is back. And, of course, they've still got Gutherson to come back into this lineup. And if they don't have too many injury worries this year, they're not going to have a great contingent, you would think, involved in State of Origin. I think they can probably go all the way. So I'm going to tip Parramatta to beat Penrith today in what should be an absolute humdinger of a close match.
Fantastic. And we've got Mark Piggy Riddell down there in the sunshine. It's a warm one for him. Let's head downstairs for BF Goodridge. Piggy, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, Big Mar mentioned it about the conditions down here. There isn't a real breeze at all. And it's very humid as well down here at ground level. So obviously that's going to have an effect on the players this afternoon. I'm going with the Parramatta Eels. I think they've got a very settled side. Not many changes at all from the side, as you boys mentioned, that was in the finals in 2017. I remember we interviewed Brad Arthur only a few weeks ago, and he just said when they got back to pre-season, they started from a much better position than what they had in the last few seasons. They were able to get a lot more work done. And I think that's going to really help this Parramatta side this season. And this afternoon, I think the Eels will win.
All right, Piggy, while I've got you, for McDonald's, purchase any McCafe drink for your chance to win free McCafe coffee for a whole year. T's and C's apply. Who are you tipping officially this afternoon?
Yeah, officially I'm going to go with the Eels in a close one.
All right, thank you, Piggy. Daryl Broman for Maccas. Who do you like this Arbo?
Parramatta.
Parramatta for you. What about you, Davey?
Parramatta.
Parramatta? Geez, everyone's on the same page.
Yeah,
it's going to be quite boring, isn't it?
And Penrith's the favourites.
Yep, exactly.
Well, they're not now. Well, they're not. No, it's turned around.
Yeah.
It has turned around. Parramatta are now the favourites. They were $2.35 on Tuesday or something, because I remember seeing the odds and I thought, gee whiz, they're over the odds.
I'm certain they were $2.50 when markets first went up for this game.
It's a good price.
Well, it's a good crowd in,
but I think our own sponsor still had Parramatta with a 1.5 point start an hour ago, so it's probably an indication of just that no one really knows exactly what's going to happen, and I dare say we don't either.
Well, it's a great crowd in. It is capacity. Well, it will be capacity because it is a sellout. Darryl, we haven't really mentioned this name, James Maloney. What sort of an impact will he have at the Panthers?
Oh, I think positive. I think he'll be very good for Nathan Cleary. In saying that, Cleary doesn't need too much help. He's an ultimate player. He can do just about anything on the football field, but I think that's the battle most people have probably come to see today. Mitchell Moses and Corey Norman up against Cleary and Maloney. Maloney's been very good for so many clubs over the last decade or so. They've all improved when he's gone there. If Penrith improve even a little bit, that'll put them right in the hunt for this competition, so I think he'll be good for them.
All right, well, Tim Manor leads out the Parramatta Eels. They take up position at the northern end of the ground, and it will be the Penrith Panthers to get us underway. They're about to make their way out onto Panthers Stadium in front of this big crowd. Good luck to whatever team you're supporting. Just before we see them emerge from the tunnel, we need to update some lower grade scores. Queensland Cup full-time. The North Devils have beaten Tweed Heads 18 points to 12. It's 6-all, a 6-all draw, I should say, between the Dolphins and South Logan, and 0-all between Papua New Guinea and the Jets at the National Football Stadium. We'll keep you across all of that as well. We'll have a look at the Panthers faithful. They stand as one. Out comes the Panther onto Panthers Stadium, and he's closely followed by Peter Wallace. They make their way out to the southern end of Panthers Stadium. The flags in the air, the bursts of fire at either side of the tunnel. This should be an absolute beauty. Your lead referee for the match is Ashley Klein. His assistant, Matt Noyen. The senior review official, Jared Maxwell. And alongside him is Luke Patton. I'm going to make my way back to the interactive studio and talk to you in a couple of hours for the Gold Coast and Canberra. But I'll hand you over to David Morrow, Darryl Broman and Mark Piggy Riddell for this Western Sydney derby. Thursday, I'm looking forward to listening to the call on the way home. Have a great call, mate, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, Mark Levy, thank you very much. And Darryl Broman and Mark Riddell with me down on the sideline. And we're going to see Ashley Klein in charge of this game this afternoon. And we're also going to see Penrith kick off. They're defending the Howell Oval end, the southern end in this first half. And that means that Parramatta are going to defend the trotting track end or the northern end. It's great to have this geography here at Penrith. Hasn't changed much, Darryl. When you used to train here, you and Jimmy Jones and others used to duck across the road and have a bet on the trots.
Absolutely. Every Thursday night it was a special to get over there. They've got a club there now. I never used to get to the club when it was over there, but no, it's certainly come on in leaps and bounds. And as you know, David, you're a big fan of Howell Oval. You love cricket.
But it's a lovely ground. I mean, most of the great clubs have got fantastic grounds, and Penrith's no different. And they've spent a lot of money and effort on that ground over the years. And it's a beautiful place to play.
Gee, it's a good place to be when it's packed, and it is packed here today. There's standing room only in the northern and eastern sides, with the grandstands, a few seats still available there. It's surprising.
Gee, I tell you what, it's got a 2003 feel about it. That was the year they broke nearly all the records here at this ground. The year they won the premiership, and Parramatta got first use of the football. Manor brought it up originally. Now Mahu comes to the ball, and Peter Wallace goes. Well, he went backwards very quickly, and his feet were facing the other way. Alvaro brings it up. Good strong run. He's taken by Wallace and Tamo. He's about 25 out from his own goalpost. Plays the ball. Cameron King offloads then to Brown, and is this bloke in line for another big year? He had a huge year last year for Parramatta. I think in the end he won their player of the season, didn't he? I'm certain he did. As the ball's taken back by Manor, and Manor is tackled about 9 short of the halfway, 20 in from the eastern side of the field. The ball comes to Moses. Up goes the first kick of the afternoon. It's a high kick. Was Moses taken late? There was certainly a roar from some of the Parramatta players and the supporters, and penalty goes to Parramatta about 20 metres out, 12 in from touch, and Moses as the tackle. It was a late tackle on Moses, the kicker.
Leota it was. It was actually Moses Leota on Mitchell Moses. You'd think they'd be related, those two.
Well,
but Moses Leota came in. Look, I didn't think there was that much in it. Moses has stayed down a bit here. Looks like he might have hurt his neck a little bit here, but he's okay. He's up and about. But I thought he might have just, feigned a little bit of injury there for the penalty. They've got the penalty. They'll take the tap.
Yeah, I think the ref was suggesting it was high, as much if not late. I think he was saying that the indication from Ashley Klein was that contact was made high. So it may have been just a reaction, the way that the trainer went out to help Moses. Well, they didn't have the shot at penalty goal, which they're allowed to do, so they're keen to keep running the ball in these hot conditions as the ball comes out, and it goes to the left side of the field, and Mahu is tackled. He's tackled about 11 metres out. He's on the attack now. The ball comes to King, and away it goes through the hands of Norman, away to Brown, and Brown takes it ahead strongly. He's tackled. He's about 10 metres out. He'll play the ball right in front of the southern goal post. He plays the ball, and they'll go straight, and they go hard. Cameron King's almost gone all the way. He's not far away. He caught them napping. They all looked for his runners and forgot that he had the ball. Moses goes back to the left. Corey Norman has it. He goes on the outside. He gives a little show and go, and he's taken by 4 Panthers about 5 metres out. Last tackle coming up. Where's Moses? He's right behind the ruck. He'll get the ball. What's he going to do with it? He's going to for the crossfield bomb. It's a short one. It's a contest in the air, and I think you'll find flying out of the air. Jared Haynes got it, but who's finished up with the ball? Hoffman and Hayne both went for it. They think that there's a try to Parramatta, so does the referee.
I think it's Hoffman. I think you'll find it's Hoffman. I think Hoffman went to try to get the ball. He fumbled it first of all, but I think he's recovered the ball before it's hit the ground. That is a brilliant catch if he has scored here.
Cleared as being onside. We're through to the contest.
Let's have a listen here. He's gone high in the air. He's tapped the ball. He might have hit it into a Penrith hand here, you know.
Wow.
Which would indicate that's then a forward. That's then a knock on.
Yeah, it's a knock on, isn't it?
I think that has been hit from Josh Hoffman's hand. I think it's gone into the centre, Tyrone Peachy's hand, and then that will be a no try, and this will be a knock on, and that's quite unfortunate for Parramatta.
Great effort from Hoffman to do what he did. It was quite acrobatic, but in the end, I think you'll find I'm with you, Darryl. It's hit his hand, gone forward, touched Peachy's hand. That's a knock on. It'll be no try.
Well, I can't believe they're still looking at it. It's hit him's hand, then it's hit Peachy's left hand.
The ball is initially touched by Josh Hoffman. The ball then goes forward into Tyrone Peachy, which constitutes a knock-on. We have a decision.
Well, Piggy would prove yet again that Darryl Broman should be in that corridor of uncertainty for certain.
I don't know about that.
He did well, didn't he, there? Big man, I think they got it 100% right. Just from me, boys, the early on for the Parramatta Eels. Jared Hayne in attack, setting up in the fullback position with Bevan French on this right wing.
So
let's not go early, Daniel. Wait.
Let's see what they do, Penrith, with the first use of the ball. And of course, Mark Piggy-Riddell on the sideline and Darryl. Their comments brought to you by BF Goodrich, the tyre specialist, and Penrith with their first use of the football. And the man that caused all that flurry of excitement, Leota, brings the ball back. That's because of the late tackle on Moses, or it may have been high. It didn't make much difference. The referee penalised it, and I see French is back at full back at the moment in defence as the ball is brought 12 metres out, or 12 metres short of the halfway line. Wallace goes to Maloney. Maloney goes hard at the line, and with those swinging arms he often has, he's a bit like a windmill, but he doesn't do anything with that except lose the ball, and as a result, Parramatta come up with it again. Another Penrith error as Hayne is tackled about 6 metres shy of the halfway line, 9 metres short of the halfway. He's swinging his arms around Darryl as if he's trying to...
Yeah. Well, Mitchell Moses was the defender then. He just came along, hit one of his arms, and the ball just popped straight out. So Penrith struggling to hold on to the ball. Here's Moses again, straight up the middle.
A little show and go, and he almost goes all the way through. Great tackle there. And I presume it's Dylan Edwards in the last line of defence. It was. The ball goes away to Norman. A long cut-out ball to Hayne. Hayne takes on Peachy. Peachy's equal to the task, and they put him down about 9 metres out. Ball played to Hoffman. Open side it comes to Norman to Alvaro. Alvaro goes straight and hard. He's tackled 11 metres out. He's about 23 metres in from touch. They're running towards the southern goalpost. Away to Norman. He goes to the left, back to the right to Moses. Long cut-out ball to Hayne. Hayne, a little dribble kick. Hoffman kicks to the head, but doing wonderfully well, getting down low and covering the ball up. Mansour saves the day for the Penrith Panthers.
Well, they've dropped it again, the Panthers. They've got it back here, Parramatta. They're only 10 metres out.
Well, after all the good work from Mansour, now the drop ball means that Cameron King's going to get up and play the ball if he's allowed to. That should have been a penalty. Mansour's all over him like a cheap suit. Don't they make suits, Mansour's? Ball taken.
Not as good as Lowe's do, bro.
No, I don't think they do. They certainly don't make cheap suits, Lowe's. Ball taken now. It's Manor.
Sure.
Well, they don't cost much, do they?
$99, a magnificent value.
Ball taken ahead by Brown.
Buy one for $99.
Ball taken ahead. Brown has tackled a few metres out. Penalty against Wallace. Holding down too long. And what will Parramatta do here? They've had so much possession down here on a hot day, but it's right in front.
I think they take the tap. I think they keep the pressure on here. They probably should have scored by now. Penrith can't hold the ball. Opening stages here, they just keep dropping the ball in awful position for themselves. I think Parramatta just keep going for the try here.
And Manor almost goes straight through. He got the tap and he just kept going. And it was a long time before the Penrith defence held him down. Now King throws a dummy, goes from dummy half, and he's held up. He's held up over the goal line. This will be going back 10 metres, I presume, for a tackle 3.
Take it out 10, Cameron. You're going to play the ball.
There it is.
When you play it.
Use your foot when you play it. Yeah, he knows that. Otherwise, it's a penalty. I suppose it's part of the referee speak this year, isn't it? Ball played. Brown gets it onto Alvaro. He charges into Tamo. Leota's there, so is Wallace. They'll put him down about 5 or 6 metres out from the southern goalpost. Into dummy half again as King. He'll come back the open side. It goes away then. A cut-out pass. It goes the way. Long cut-out pass goes to Hoffman. Hoffman sprints down the right wing. 2 cut-out passes. Hoffman scores the opening try.
Oh, beautifully put together, and they needed it, Parramatta. But he's gone to the video again here. I really don't know why. Let's have a listen.
We have a try. Confirm he grounds it in the in-goal area.
Well, I'll be surprised if he didn't ground it in the in-goal area because he was away from all the defenders. He just dived over, slams it down. Beautifully worked movement, but they needed that, Parramatta. They've had all the ball in the opening stages here. Just seeing he gets it down before he goes into touch. Yes, he does. That's a good performance there from Josh Hoffman, who looks incredibly fit this year.
Good work from Mansour. Mansour almost prevented him scoring that, didn't he, with the little ankle tap?
Well, he almost got to him, but I don't think he has. I'm pretty sure this is a try. He's got that down. This will be a try. Beautiful work. The last pass was a beauty.
So Josh Hoffman remains in the field of play, then grounds the ball in the in goal. We have a decision.
I think it was Corey Norman who threw the cutout pass, but it was a beauty.
I think there were 2 cutout passes, weren't there?
The last one was a money ball, I reckon.
Money ball that went past Hayne to Hoffman. That was a beauty, wasn't it?
It was a beauty.
And here it comes. It's a try. And Parramatta lead on the low scoreboard. And, of course, at the moment, the low scoreboard reached 4 points to 0. Let's go down to the sideline. Thanks to BF Goodrich. And here's Mark Piggy Riddell.
Yeah, just having another look at the replay now, Thirsty. Some great interchanges of passing there. I think Moses, then Norman, as you boys said it, found Hoffman in the corner. Now, I like the intent from the Eels today. They've had a couple of opportunities to take some penalty goals early on. And Big Mum called it and it was right. They had to go on with it. It's hot conditions down here. They've had the run of play since the start of the game, and they've got the rewards. The first try of the afternoon to the Eels.
Yeah, well, we're going to get a chance to have a look at the replay, thanks to Coates High, but sadly, the replay stopped before we got the second pass. But there were 2 lovely bits of football, and Hoffman did well. Moses, metre in from touch, 22 metres out. Opportunity to convert the try. And it's wide out. There's the kick. It looks good. It looks good. It looks very good from the sideline. And look at that. The scoreboard, thanks to Lowe's Reach. Parramatta 6, Penrith 0.
Well, they've had all the ball, David, haven't they? They really have. And we've only had, 6.5 minutes of play, but it's been all Parramatta. The problem for the Panthers has been the opening 6 minutes is their inability to hold the ball. They've had it on a couple of occasions. Maloney dropped it once. I think Leota may have dropped it a second time, but they're just putting themselves under extreme pressure. You can't do that when you're playing against A, good side, and B, in these conditions, because it's going to come back and bite you right on the bot.
Well, we don't even have to go to look at the list of stats for on deck at the moment, is that Penrith have made too many errors in the opening 6 minutes. I mean, there was the penalty, the drop ball. Maloney was taking the ball up, trying to be fancy, and just had his arm knocked, and he loses the ball. Mansour coming out. I mean, if you keep making mistakes, Darryl, the opposition will kill you, especially in hot weather.
Absolutely. You can't do that. They've got to settle down, the Panthers. They've got to get some ball, get through a set, and play for some field position.
Well, that's the most beautiful thing. And when you're playing a hot weather, Darryl, the most important thing is possession, is it not? Make the opposition burn themselves out in defence.
Exactly. You don't want to be tackling.
Here's Brown going straight through. He's got a lovely pass away to Moaroa. Moaroa sprinting downfield as he tried to get the pass back on the infield. A good tackle from Maloney. He got him off balance and he just couldn't get himself into position to throw it back inside. If he goes to the outside, here would you believe that Penrith on the second play after the ball has been dropped, Dylan Edwards has knocked it on. Parramatta will go on the attack from 23 metres out. But the first pass, if Moaroa comes to the right side, they may have scored. Didn't blame him for going back inside, Darryl, but he couldn't get himself balanced properly to get the in-ball perfectly. Otherwise, Parramatta are 12-0 up.
Well, Brown just went straight through the middle of the ruck. I mean, that you just can't. That is inexcusable. He went straight through the middle of the ruck, and as you said, Moaroa got the ball. He tried to pass, stuffed it up, and they picked it up, Penrith, from dummy half. The fullback, Dylan Edwards, knocks on. I mean, this is just horrendous start from Penrith.
Now the ball comes out to the left side of the field, and here they come again. The Parramatta Eels, they lead 6-0 on the low scoreboard. Ava'a takes it ahead. He's tackled 20 metres out. He's about 20 metres in from touches Edwards. They go back. I should say a little halfback come a hooker in. King goes the open side. He got a pass away to Norman. He's tackled 9 metres out. Back it goes to Brown. Brown plays the front man Alvaro. He runs into some solid defence. defence. He's about 6 or 7 metres out from the goal line. They're on the attack again here, the Parramatta Eels. They lead 6-0. The ball is fed across now to Moses. Moses gets it away, goes to French, and French does a little dodge and a weave, but he can't get through. He's tackled 10 metres out. Last play, what'll they do? They'll come the short side. Again, it's Moses. Little grubber kick into the in-goal area. Edwards does well to get there, cover it up. He copped a hit for his troubles, but he concedes the line drop out and doesn't give away a try.
Yeah, I like Dylan Edwards. Unfortunately, he made that little error before. He knocked the ball on, but he did well there to cover that. It was a beautifully weighted kick from Mitch Moses. Hasn't he started well? He's all over the place. He's darting from left to right behind the rucks, and the Panthers' defence at the moment have got absolutely no idea what he's doing. They've got great depth in their attack here, Parramatta. This reminds me a little bit of the start that the Bunnies made yesterday, you know. It was a similar start. They only led 6-0 after about 20 minutes. I think they do need some more points here, Parra, just to show on the scoreboard what their dominance has been like.
And, of course, Dylan Edwards, you have a look at that. He had a little dipsy doodle as he picked that up. That could have almost been a knock-on in the in-goal area. Luckily for him, it would have been the same result, though. Line drop out, wouldn't it?
Yep.
So it didn't make any difference what he did. Ball comes back to Alvaro. Alvaro takes it ahead. Would have made a difference if he'd knocked it on and didn't regather it, though, of course. Because that means the opposition probably had first chance on it to score. Here's Brown again. He's trying to take the ball into the line. He loses the ball. Wallace picks it up, and Fisher-Harris gathers the ball up and brings it back. And the Panthers have finally got the ball again, about 40 metres out in their own goal line. I'm certain the Panthers have not played the ball in Parramatta's half yet.
No, I don't think they have. They've got to in this set. They cannot afford to make another mistake. They might get a penalty in this set, who knows, but they need to be better than what they've been. There's a good run from Yo, who's one of their best, without a doubt.
Geez, consistent. Oh, Darryl. How good's Steve Broman, Piggy?
Well, you just knew it was going to happen.
He knew the penalty was coming.
He could just tell us, couldn't he? How good. They needed it, though, the Penrith Panthers. You boys were right. I'm down this end, the northern end. I've hardly seen any football at all so far in this first half. First opportunity here for the Panthers.
Well, let's see what happens. Low scoreboard, Parramatta 6 leading the Panthers 0, and that's with 11 minutes gone. And, of course, all the comments from both the man in the box and the man on the sideline brought to you by B.F. Goodrich, the tyre specialist. Wallace goes back the open side. It comes to Merrin. Merrin gets it away to Leota, and Leota's going to be tackled. And he's going to be tackled around about 15 or 16 metres out. Wallace will come back the open side. He does so. Away it goes then. Cleary then to Maloney, who gets a sloppy pass away because he's under pressure. Peachy can't handle the bad ball that ran along the ground. Another knock on by Penrith, and Parramatta will come up with the scrum feed 20 out from their own goal line, and that was pressure on Maloney that he just couldn't handle.
It's Z-grade stuff at the moment from Penrith. Seriously, that is just poor. He copped a pass that wasn't great himself, but then he compounded the error from a poor pass. His pass was worse, and then Peachy couldn't control it and knocked it on. They just can't put any pressure on Parramatta. As I said before, though, the good news, if you're a Panthers fan, is after 11 minutes, they're only down 6-0. They really should be down by 16 or 18, I reckon. They've been that bad, Penrith.
Well, let's see what happens. Of course, the hot conditions, 12 minutes gone, and the low scoreboard reached Parramatta 6, leading Penrith 0. As the ball's played 22 metres out, King goes back the open side and through the hands of Mahu. Away it goes to the dancing feet of Jennings. He goes one way, he goes the other. He got rid of one defender, got rid of another. He only went about 4 metres closer to the opposition goal line, but he probably fended off about 8 players. Back to the left, Mahu takes the head. Gee, that's a good strong run. He went straight into the hit line. He dragged 3 defenders, but he's going to play it 15 or 16 metres further downfield near the halfway. King offers it up to Brown. He again crosses the halfway line. He's been strong as he has been all the time. He's played in a Parramatta jumper. He's 45 metres out. King comes back to Manor. Manor decides to stride ahead. He's tackled 38 metres out from Penrith's line, 20 in from touch on the western side of the field. Last play, up goes the bomb from Corey Norman. It's coming down towards Edwards. He gets underneath it. He takes it well. He evades one. He evades two. He's sprinting down the left flank and he runs out of room on the sideline before he's thumped into the ground 35 metres out. I'm not sure there wasn't a swinging arm from Brown too in the tackle, but he got away with it.
He did a good job there, Dylan Edwards. Firstly, he took the ball beautifully, and then he got on the outside of the Parramatta defence there. I think he's a good player, this kid. I know he'd made that knock on before, but I think he's got a big future in the game, Dylan Edwards.
Here's your man, Wonga Blake, playing the ball and going for a gallop out of dummy half with Tini Zalesniak. He's going to be tackled about 30 metres out now from the Parramatta line, the northern end of the field. Parramatta leading 6 points to little thanks to Lowe's as Wallace gets a long ball away to Merrin, and Merrin throws a dummy. He went through the gap. He keeps it alive. Good pass, found Edwards. He too ran into a hole. He's tackled 15 metres out. 15 in from touch. Last play comes to Wallace. Away it goes to Cleary. He puts it up. Here comes Wonga Blake. Can he get there? The ball was knocked on for mine by Parramatta forward. Picked up by Maru in an offside position, and the referee agrees.
Yeah, Mitch Moses coming off here with a head injury. He's going off for a head check. There's no doubt about that, and they got that absolutely right. It was a dangerous kick there across field from the halfback Nathan Cleary. They went up for it, knocked it on, went straight into the hands of a Parramatta player. Ma'u was offside. It's a blow for Parramatta with Mitch Moses going off so early.
Let's go down to the sideline. Mark Piggy-Riddell, just anything happen?
No, I didn't see it, Thursday. I didn't catch it myself, but that whole set of 6, Penrith had the football. Mitchell Moses found himself on the wing. The trainer was trying to observe him and see if he was okay. And then straight away, once he got out of the couple of tackles that he had to make, they got him straight off the back, and he's just about to walk past me. He didn't look too good at all. Brad Takarangi's gone on the field to replace him.
Yeah, I just wonder, I'm not saying it was, but is it anything to do with the hit by Leota early in the game, of course, that drew a penalty?
Yeah, I don't think so. The trainer definitely tapped his head, so it's a HIA test he's coming off for. I don't think it had anything to do with that.
What is going on out here? He gave the penalty 25 minutes ago. Wallace is standing on the spot. The referee's saying something. The touchy's saying something.
Well, there's a trainer out there for Parramatta doing something with Jennings.
Now,
I don't know whether he's called
I didn't see that.
Time off for that or what.
My apologies to everyone. I couldn't see why, because Wallace was saying, why can't I keep going? Parramatta's had a good rest while Wallace is on. Ball comes away to Peachy. Oh, he got on the outside of Hayne for a moment. He can't go through. And he's put down. Takarangi came across to help. Ball played to Mansour. On it goes to Yo. Yo straightens up. Drives towards the goal line. He's put down 5 or 6 metres out. 20 metres in from touch on the western side of the field. It's played now to Wallace. Wallace gets it on to big Tamo. And Tamo, this big, tall front rower, is tackled about 2 metres out on the northern goalpost. Parramatta lead on the low scoreboard. 6 points to 0. Wallace will go back the right side. It goes to Cleary. Of Wendler Fisher-Harris. Good hard run. Equally stopped by a good hard tackle from Ma'u. 5 metres out, open side Wallace. He finds Cleary. Cleary throws a couple of dummies, goes straight through, and he's tackled. What a good tackle from Moa Rowe, a couple of metres out from dummy half. Wallace got the ball. Crowd appealing for a penalty. Might have had some justification. Little grubber kick from Maloney is brilliantly picked off by Parramatta, and they've got the ball. And it was a good bit of football by Norman, who got there first and ran it 15 out from his own goalpost. They were appealing for a bit of a penalty in and around the ruck area, but I'm not sure it wasn't just slow play the ball from Penrith.
I got to agree. No, I think he played the ball beautifully. It was Nathan Cleary who got up to play the ball, and I thought he'd do it quite quickly. I thought there was a dead marine lying in the middle of the ruck from Parramatta, and that just really took all the wind out of Penrith's sails there and ended up a kick. I think it was Maloney who put it through, and it just set up nicely for a Parramatta player.
But Norman, I've seen him do that a lot.
He's a good player, Norman.
I'm not saying he is Andrew Johns, but Andrew Johns was a genius at that. When someone put a grubber kick in, it was amazing how often Andrew happened to be in the right place at the right time. And he could have been on the other side of the field when the ball was played, but somehow he got 40 metres infield to be where the ball was kicked. Corey Norman seems to have that same ability. High shot against Parramatta here, penalty to Penrith.
Yeah, Dylan Edwards a play. Looks like he's got a bit bigger, Dylan Edwards. Outside of that knock on from dummy half, he's been one of their better players, Dylan Edwards. He's doing well. Here's an opportunity for Penrith. They've had a lot of ball in the last 5 minutes or so.
That was funny.
Wonga Blake wanted to take the tap. Where was he?
Well, he didn't take the tap. I think that's why they brought it back. Watini Zalesny passed him the ball, and Wonga Blake decided to run. He didn't take the tap. So the referee said, no, go back and tap it first. I'm certain that's what happened. Now, Merrin takes the ball up, and he's tackled only 10 metres out, right in front of the goalpost. He'll play the ball to Wallace. They're on the attack, Penrith, trailing 6-0 on the low scoreboard. Parramatta in front. Ball goes away to Cleary, and Cleary throws a dummy. He's almost through again. Good tackle from Manor. There's another one underneath all of that, probably Brown. Ball played. Open side they come. Merrin, and there's a little switcheroo. Maloney long pass to Mansour. Took half an hour to get there, but he's one of the best finishers in the world as Mansour. He flies, and with strength, I think you'll find he's got underneath 2 defenders and scored a try.
Well, you think he has scored. There's a bit of drama here. Let's have a listen.
No play on you on the outside shoulder. Yes. Okay. We got contact, so no try. So Hawks got no try here, coming up to tackle 5.
There was a player taken out.
He's on the outside shoulder and affects the defensive line.
Now, all the Penrith players are blowing up here with the second referee, who really hasn't got much to do with this. It's the number one referee here, Ashley Klein, who's made the decision.
Well, this is interesting. We're going to the coach hire video referee and the bunker. And we've got three officials out there all having a yarn to each other. We've got Ashley Klein, Matt Nguyen and Brett Sutter, the touchy. And now super optimistic genius bunker referee Daryl Broman will give you his assessment.
I bet you never called Warren Warwick. You're calling me Darren now. They're
Broman.
saying here the long pass over the top. You know what? I think Peachy did take out Hoffman. Hoffman is coming up. He comes into Peachy. Then he changes his direction to go out and try and get to Mansour. I think Peachy takes him out.
So what's the
ball over the top?
Peachy was cut out. It was a long pass over the top. And the man Hoffman, he started to change direction. As he changed,
Tyrone Peachy has disadvantaged the defensive line, therefore taking an opportunity away from the Parramatta defender to make a tackle. We have a decision.
Piggy, he doesn't miss one, does he?
No, he certainly doesn't. I was with him. I think once Peachy knew that the ball was going past him and going over the top, he kept continuing his line into the Parramatta Eels player and took him out.
Well, he didn't even get a chance to see whether he got it down. I thought he got it down. Pig, you might have a better view than anyone.
Yeah, well, I was watching. I thought he was going to get it down. He got his body in the air, Mansour, as we see all the great wingers do. And I think he planted that football down. So a missed opportunity there for the Panthers.
Well, the good thing is that you just know from that position, oh, gee, he may have dropped it. He may have. But we'd have to have forensic evidence to have a look at that. But the thing is, he's such a good finisher, despite the fact there were a couple of good defenders there. He almost got there. Didn't make any difference in the end. The obstruction is what the penalty was for, and Parramatta bring the ball back, and they've got it 5 metres short of the halfway line. Lead on the low scoreboard, 6 points to nil. Here's Brown, and Brown again, quickly up over the halfway line, 45 metres out from the southern goal line, 18 minutes gone. Low scoreboard, Parramatta 6, Penrith 0. The ball gets back to within 35 metres of Penrith's line, almost in centre field. King will go back the left side. Away it goes then through the hands of Norman. Norman sends it on to French. He throws a couple of dummies. He continues his run. He's tackled about 18 metres out. He's 8 metres in from touch. Last play, Norman will get the ball. No, he doesn't. Mahu gets it. Now it goes to Norman. Norman with the crossfield kick. Here comes Hayne. It's knocked down by a Penrith player, Peachy. Into Hayne, then into the in-goal area where it's picked up by the fullback, Edwards, and Edwards' ball. And I'm just sure that Peachy knocked that ball into Hayne.
I didn't think it touched Hayne, actually. I haven't seen a replay, but I think he went up for it. I think it went backwards and straight into Dylan Edwards, who once again did a good job to get it out of the in-goal area. Penrith making good metres here. This is probably tackle 3 or 4. They're over the 30-metre zone here.
Wallace plays the ball, and they go from dummy half and a good strong run and taking the ball up. And taking it up strongly is Martini Zalesniak. He's back to the halfway line. Wallace will go back to the right, I reckon. He goes to Cleary, and Cleary under pressure. He puts it high in the air, and it's going to be a difficult one for French to take because the troops are coming. But he got there, got the ball just before the Penrith people arrived, and then a penalty for a high shot, I reckon.
Inside 10.
Inside 10.
Well, it was a high shot inside 10. So they've got him for being offside. There's a few of the Parramatta boys struggling to get back on side here at the moment. It's very hot out there. I think both sides are going to struggle come the end of this half and the end of this game. And the Parramatta really want to take a stranglehold on this. I think they need to get some more points on the board here very quickly.
Well, you've been fit doing that fitness campaign, Piggy. Otherwise, you'd be feeling the heat too.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm feeling it, and I'm just sitting on the sideline thirsty. I'm sweating deluxe at the moment. But with that kick, they passed it back to Nathan Cleary and all the middle forwards for Penrith. Because the ball didn't go too far, it was more of a bomb. They got pinged all for being offside.
Here comes Parramatta working it down the centre of the park. They're 20 metres out on the back of the penalty. King comes back the right side. Away it goes to Brown. He spins, he turns, he sends it back to the centre. The King to Alvaro. Alvaro gets it away. Takarangi takes the ball ahead. And Takarangi, who's coming off the bench, of course he played last season in the centre. This year he's going to be playing more in the middle as a back rower. Well, he is at the moment. Ball goes back the open side. It comes to Norman. Norman to Alvaro. He comes straight down the centre of the park. And the big blonde-headed prop is going to play it. 5 metres out. They go back to the left of Norman. Norman decides to throw a dummy. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie me. Those Penrith players are basically hanging like last week's washing. He just threw the dummy and they got sucked in like every dummy in a chemist shop, and Norman has scored the softest try he will score in his entire career.
He's a beauty. I think it's in between Wallace and also Fisher Harris, who are defending on the right side here. He just gets the ball. You know, he just got that fancy footwork. He just sort of dances around for a little while, and then he goes bang, throws a dummy, big left foot step. I don't even know if they got a hand on him then, in between Wallace and Fisher Harris, and plants it down very close to the post. He's a quality player, this bloke. Great try, great individual try. He gets it, big dummy, step, beats both of them. Both of them put an arm out. The hooker put one out there. Peter Wallace, he put his right arm out, and the back rower, James Fisher Harris, put his left arm out, and he just went straight between both of them. Scores next to the post. Brilliant try.
Got to tackle the man with the ball, Piggy.
Yeah, you certainly do, Thirsty, but it was just bodies in motion for the Eels. You know, he had Manu Mau coming back on the inside. That held Peter Wallace up enough to create the space. And then as he showed the ball on the outside, you got Fisher Harris moving to the outside, created the space there. Too quick, too electric, got over for the try. And they needed that, the Eels, because they've been very dominant in this first half, but not really on the scoreboard. 10 points to 0 with the kick to come.
And the low scoreboard, as Piggy said, it's 10-0. And now with Moses off in the head or the concussion bin, Norman's actually taking over the goal kicking duties. He's about 21 metres in. He's about 18 metres out, kicks towards the southern goal post, and he's missed it. He's missed it. Now, are they going to feel that later on? It wasn't a difficult kick. And
no, it wasn't, was it?
When he struck it, it didn't look... It looked like a casual stab, didn't it?
Yeah, just looking here at the bench here for the Eels, he hasn't out there, Mitchell Moses. I don't know how long he's been off. I would say 7 or 8 minutes here. But he's not out on the bench now. Now, whether he's inside, cooling down or they're working on him or what, I don't know. But I've got to say that I don't think that's a really good sign for Parramatta, the fact that he hasn't taken a spot on the bench here at the moment, so late in the 10-minute period.
No, they haven't. He isn't back out yet. They've got 15 minutes, haven't they?
Now, I thought it was only 10. I'll go with you, though. Let's go over the voice of reason. Peg, what's he think?
Piggy?
15 minutes, I'll go with that.
Good job. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Parramatta bring the ball back after the restart. Gee, he's got some silky skills. And I'm just talking about those skills before. Where he was, where he was to collect that little grubber kick. I mean, it's just...
And the shame of it is he might never play State of Origin.
No.
Queensland have got that many good halves. This bloke is without a doubt representative material.
Probably would have played 20 games if he was in New South Wales.
Absolutely would have.
Yeah, he's a gifted player. Ball comes away and they take the ball straight down the centre again, Parramatta at the moment. And Matangi, I think you'll find, has just come on. He's going to play the ball near the 9 metres short of halfway. In fact, it's Avaha who's come in to take the run. They look similar, won't they? I don't know when they take it up, but Avaha had come into the centre to take the ball up. And I saw him warming up, and there he is out there now, Matangi.
Well, one good thing for Penrith is the fact that Campbell Gillard's out there. I think he should have been out there. I'm not quite sure why he didn't start the game, but he's an Australian representative. Well, he's a big unit. I think he needs to be out there, particularly when they've got the ball.
Well, he was penalised. He was the man, one of those penalised, of course, for being in front of the kicker earlier. As the Parramatta get the ball again after the penalty, they're 25 metres out. Gee, they've had a lot of ball. Ball goes away to Brown. Brown gets it away through the hands it comes. On it goes out wide to Hopman. And Hopman has tackled as he came back on the inside. He might have got a clip around the ear there.
Absolutely he did. I reckon the 5'8" got him around the ear, Maloney.
Ball comes back to the left. It goes to Brown, and Brown straightens up, and he's almost through. He keeps the ball alive. They go back to King. King goes straight and hard. He's pulled down. He's only about a metre or so out from the goal line. They're on the attack again here. Takarangi, the dummy half. He offloads the ball to Norman. Norman to Matangi. Matangi. He goes straight down the centre. He's taken there by Campbell Gillard, and he loses the ball. He loses the ball.
Okay, we've got...
Penrith player down
Dylan Edwards
here.
has gone down. Don't start the clock.
Dylan Edwards has gone down here. He's hurt his arm. He's come in to make part of that tackle and he's hit the deck. He's holding his arm. I tell you, he's a tough kid, but he's got a problem with his arm. There's no doubt about that. He's reeled out of that tackle with an arm problem. They're looking at him now, but he might be all right.
And Mark Figueredell, no news on Mitch Moses yet. I still notice he's not back on the bench.
No, there's no news there. He's still with the doctors inside of the change rooms.
And Edwards seems to be okay. How often do you see that, Darryl? I know it's sounds like a crack record. Player comes off the bench, first involvement in the game's an error.
Yep, you see it a lot, don't you?
You do. As Piggy said, they're not used to the flow of the game. It's not easy, I suppose.
Well, they haven't been in the game, really, Penrith, have they? They haven't had a lot of ball. It's been all Parramatta. But Penrith really, outside of that try that was disallowed to Josh Mansour, they really haven't looked dangerous at all.
10 points to 0 on the low scoreboard. Parramatta lead Penrith, and we've got about 25 minutes gone. That's 15 minutes to go in the first half. 15 in from touch, eastern side of the field, and they take the ball ahead strongly, and they take it up here by big Campbell Gillard, and he's swamped by Parramatta defenders. He's about 28 metres out. He's about 20 metres in from touch as Wallace goes from dummy half. They send it back to Merrin. Merrin strides ahead, and he turns his back. He got his arms free to pop a pass. But when he got there was no one in a white Guernsey, a Penrith Guernsey, following through. Now the ball is fed. It's fed towards Wallace. He went for a 40-20 penalty against Penrith. I presume it's against Merrin. Incorrect play of the football.
That's absolutely what he's been penalised for. The referee is indicating there the ball was just thrown between his legs. Hopefully we'll get a replay of it. Merrin gets up. Oh, mate, look, he probably didn't touch it with his foot, but I reckon we'll see that 20 times today.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad, did you?
No, I didn't, but it's almost identical to one we saw yesterday, Piggy. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly right, Thirsty. And just some news on the sideline. Mitchell Moses, he's been cleared. He's about to take his place back on the field.
Thank you. That's good news from a Parramatta supporter. Even better news from Mitch Mosel's point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. He's there ready to go out. That's because he had a cracking start to the game, and hasn't he formed a wonderful relationship with Corey Norman? You know, they're dynamic together.
Well, Norman would put laps on anyone, wouldn't he? I mean, if you're a good player, Norman will make you a better player. There's a Hicks, Matangi taking the ball ahead, and he's tackled. He's tackled about 8 metres out. He'll play the ball underneath the southern goalpost. Here's the chance to extend the lead. It goes to Alvaro. He goes straight and hard. He goes straight at Edwards, who's got a dicky arm at the moment. Wallace came in to help his fullback. He's almost into the big oak bumper on the goalpost there. The ball is played. The back it comes then to Norman. Norman, the cutout pass goes to Takarangi. Lovely cutout pass, and Hoffman's in for his second. Oh, they've pulled their pants down for the second time with the same movement down the same side.
Aren't they having trouble reading it there? And on the left side defensively, you got Maloney, Tyrone Peachey and Josh Mansour. 3 decent players, but they just keep loading up their right side here, Parramatta, and they've got options all over the paddock. Beautiful ball there from he's a back rower now, Brad Takarangi. Cut-out ball straight onto Hoffman's chest. He catches it, scores in the corner. I think the scoreline now reflects the dominance that they've had here, the Eels. It's 14-0, and the good news is Moses is out there to take the kick. Could well be 16 shortly.
Is he allowed to take the kick, Piggy? I mean, he wasn't on the field the moment the try was scored. That used to be the rule.
It used to be the rule if he wasn't on the field when the try was scored. But I want to go back to the play, Thirsty. You were right. They put the same play on. I just like the personnel and the way they used it. They brought Jared Hayne in midfield and used him as one of the first lead runners. So when they played out the back, the face ball was actually across the front of Bevan French. So they're putting Hayne back in the middle to try and get those outside defenders turning in, looking at what's happening inside. And when they play out the back and hit it out the back, they've already got the 3-on-2 sorted. All it takes is a good pass to hit the winger. They've done it twice now. They've executed it perfectly, and they've got the Penrith Panthers left edge defence in all sorts of trouble.
So here's Moses, same blade of grass where he kicked his first conversion from. It's coming across the face. This one won't be pay dirt, but it's 14 points to 0 on the low scoreboard in favour of Parramatta. 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. And, of course, all our special comments today from the big man, Daryl Broman, and the pig man down on the sideline, Mark Piggy Riddell, brought to you by BF Goodrich.
And they're good tyres. Have you got BF Goodrich on your car?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, me too.
They're safe, Daryl.
They're magnificent. And you get a lot of tread out of them too, David. A lot of wear, mate.
Yeah, there. Well, the most important thing about your tyres, as long as they're safe, that's the biggest thing you need out of them.
Absolutely. And gee, I'll tell you what, Parramatta aren't safe at the moment, but they have dominated Penrith. They've had most of the ball and they've done very well with it. They put points on the board, and that's what you need. In hot weather, get some points on the board. I'm not saying they're going to coast home here, but 14-0 is a big lead.
Well, they've had all the ball, Daryl, as you said. And because they've made fewer errors. Penrith keep making errors, giving away penalties, and that's going to take its toll as well, because it means that Penrith have had to do so much tackling, the wear and tear.
Well, early in the year too, Dave, in a hot day, there's so many things going against them at the moment. They can ill afford to give away any more penalties in this half. They can ill afford to let any more points in here.
Ball comes away to the right after a good run from Ma, who's followed up by a good run from Mararoa. He's tackled back towards the halfway. Second tackle that almost you saw the whistle go to the mouth, and the referee said, "I'll let that one go through," as Brown takes it over the halfway. Last play, they'll come back to the right, I reckon. It comes away to Moses. Up goes the bomb, and coming for the ball is Edwards. There's plenty of support from Parramatta coming through, and they get there and nail the Penrith fullback 19 metres out from his own goal line. 15 in from touch. It's played. Open side it comes to Peachy. Peachy runs across field, and then he's swallowed by the defence. 20 metres out from the southern goalpost. And the low scoreboard at the moment reached Parramatta 14, Penrith 0. The ball goes back to the right side of the field, and they take it ahead out there. And they got the ball, the Penrith Panthers, on the left side of the field, on the right side. Yo was over there. Normally plays over on this side. So he's changed sides for the moment. The ball is played 10 metres short of the halfway line, almost in centre field. Played to Wallace. Wallace gets out of dummy half. He throws it past Campbell. Gillard had it. He's absolutely Polak. So too was the fullback, because the fullback was coming hard off the shoulder. And I think some of the Parramatta players, the fullback's going to get this. Here's a high kick. Into the sun it goes. And going high for the ball, French has taken it brilliantly. He kept his eye on the ball. And I have a feeling two of the Penrith chasers were Teeny Zalesniak and Wonga Blake. When they got there, they took their eye off the ball.
Oh, brilliant take from him, wasn't it? He was under enormous pressure. Wonga Blake looked like he had first crack at it. He had an air swing, but then it was French. He just took it absolutely brilliantly. You know, the best value for money forward in the game is Nathan Brown. I've got no idea what sort of money Nathan Brown is on. Whatever he's on, he deserves double. He is a gun player. Jeez, he's a good player.
Great run here from Takarangi as he goes straight over the top of Jimmy Maloney. It was a bit like a Mack truck going over the top of a Mini. Gee, didn't he take him? Bang, straight over the top of him. Ball's taken ahead by that man, Brown. He's tackled 40 metres out in centre field. Parramatta taking the ball. They'll come back the right side. This time Cameron King puts the kick in. I think it'll find touch. It does. 5 metres out from the corner post. Scrum will go down 10 metres out. 20 in from touch. So again, if Penrith are going to do anything in this set, they've got to go 90 metres. 9 to go in the first half. And the low scoreboard reached Parramatta 14, Penrith 0.
Well, they just can't get up the other end of the field, David. The whole game has been played in their half, originally due to all their mistakes, but in the last 10 or 15 minutes, it's just been on the back of Parramatta running harder, they're kicking better, their vision in general is better. Penrith at the moment, I wouldn't say they're a rabble, but I'll tell you what, they're struggling big time.
Some of the Penrith fans aren't too happy with this. Can Phil Gill take over immediately? Another one just sent me a message. I think I'm going to buy a wooden spoon for my mob tomorrow. I wouldn't give up hope yet, fellas.
They're going off a bit early.
I think they're just a bit disappointed with the way the team's playing tonight.
Well, too many mistakes, and they just can't get out of their own area. They don't appear to have the ability to make a break. That's a shoulder charge. Surely that's a shoulder charge from Jared Hayne.
Jared Hayne has just hit these fella coming out of the line. It was McKendry who's just come on, and Jared Hayne came out of the line, and he made a tackle without using the arms. I'm certain, Darryl, that I agree with you. And Yo was tackled on the halfway line, plays it to Wallace, back to the right side. It comes away then to the halfback Cleary, who pumps it high in the air. Again, French underneath it. The defence arrives at the right time, and a great, well-timed tackle by Watini Zalesniak. He lined him up. The moment French hit terra firma, crash, bang, wallop. Jennings makes good ground out of dummy half, and Parramatta will play at 25 out in their own goal line. Good take from French, great tackle from Watini Zalesniak. Good kick from Cleary, I suppose.
That's the way it should be, David, isn't it? I mean, they don't see enough of it. Players don't time their runs. I mean, they're an easy target, fullbacks there. If you come in and give them the whole lot as soon as at the deck, well, mate, you should be able to make those sort of tackles, but Penrith haven't been able to do that today.
Matungi takes the ball ahead. He's tackled 5 short of halfway. So it's a while since they've been with the ball and haven't been able to cross the halfway line as Norman pumps a big kick high in the air, coming with the ball Edwards. Gee, he's safe. Offloads to Mansour. Mansour gallops across field. He's chased by Ma'u. He in turn got it away, and Blake goes for a run. He's got a heap of pace. He offloads it back on the inside, and the ball is knocked on by Watini Zalesniak. There's a penalty for a shoulder charge, a penalty for a use of a shoulder here. It's going to Penrith.
On Mansour.
Player's name is...
We don't know who it is. I haven't seen it yet. Mansour's the player who's down.
Michael Jennings, is it?
Must be.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that one was all right. Yeah, Peter. We cleared the markers. Though, Michael Jennings on report.
Michael Jennings on report for a shoulder charge. And you heard in all of that, Mark Piggy-Riddell, the comment about the Jared Hayne hit. Thought that one was all right, the ref said.
Yeah, exactly right, Thirsty. I was interested to hear him say that. I watched the Michael Jennings incident. I think they're best mates, aren't they? Michael Jennings and Josh Mansell. I think they were
pretty good.
I think they were groomsmen at each other's weddings. But yeah, it was definitely late. He did drop him, so it'll be interesting to see what happens to Michael Jennings with that one. But, geez, they needed it, the Panthers. They'd come up with the error through Wonga Blake, so they're lucky to go back and get this penalty.
The worst thing Brad Arthur would say, you've given a penalty away when we've got good field position in the back of an error. We're 50 metres out. You know, Brad Arthur would be reminding that giving stupid penalties away costs you games.
Well, even at 14-0, he'd be happy with the scoreline, but he probably wouldn't be completely happy with their performance.
Well, what he's given is he's given Penrith a great opportunity here as Jennings with the mistake to get right back into the game before half-time. They desperately need points here, and they've got the ball 30 metres out, almost in centre field. Wallace is in at dummy half. Campbell-Gillard plays it. He goes past one. He goes to Cleary. He goes from the right side back to the left side. It went through the hands of Maloney. He got it away on the outside. Kickow had it. Now it goes to Peachy. On it goes to Maloney. Maloney across field. He throws it to Cleary. They've got an overlap here, but a bad pass. Yo does well to keep it alive to Blake. And Blake, who got a pass along the ground, comes back. He changes direction. He's gone straight through. I don't think they'll stop the big fella from there. Or do they? Momentum, I reckon's got him there, and he scored next to the left upright.
Oh, that's a hell of a try. If he's got that down, that's a hell of a try. He must have beaten 4 or 5 people.
We're just making sure the ball always stays up and doesn't touch the ground, so there's no promotion.
Well, this is a brilliant try because the ball to him was awful. We're just having a look here now as to whether he gets it down. Now, he didn't hit the ground. He's entitled to make a second movement, which he does do. There's a defender there. He slams it down. That is a brilliant effort from Wonga Blake. He must have beaten 4 or 5 players then. It was on the back of an awful pass that went out the back. He went out, picked it up.
The arm of Wonga Blake always remains up, and he grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
That's a try and a half, isn't it?
He beat a number of good defenders then from an awful position. He got the ball, he started dancing, then he went bang over the top of a couple of defenders, over the top of the fullback, slams it down. There's a fair bit of skill involved in what he just performed then, Wonga Blake. Congratulations to him.
In the last 2 years, Mark Piggy-Riddell, I'm going to say he's the most improved footballer in the NRL.
Yeah, he certainly is, Thirsty. We've all heard about the stories about him stripping a lot of weight and getting a lot fitter and a lot stronger. We saw that right then. The ball went out the back. Not a lot doing for either side. They were all sort of waiting to see what had happened. And Wonga Blake, he took it upon himself, challenged the line. He was just too big and too strong for the Eels. And they needed that. They needed that. They needed something to go in with at half-time. Now, it looks like they're going to go in 14-6 down. That's a hell of a lot better than 14-0. And it could have quite possibly been a lot more.
Here's a Cleary from virtually in front of the sticks. He kicks it into the Trotting Club. And as a result, on the low scoreboard, it's 14-6 Parramatta over Penrith. And how important now is the penalty that Jennings gave away?
The point you made before, David. As you said, they can ill afford to give away a penalty and give away some points. And that's exactly what they've done. On the back of a great run from Wonga Blake, I've got to say. But Piggy's right, 14-6.
Well, I did say...
You're within touch. You're well within touch.
I remember last year we saw him, I think it was against Brisbane last year or late the year before, when he went the length of the field and he showed speed we never knew he had before, Wonga Blake. And then that was just skill, balance, strength. It had a bit of everything in that.
That was brilliant. But, the problem he had a few years ago was he's just full of mistakes. I mean, every game he was making 3 and 4 mistakes. He's curbed that. He's addressed it, and he's a way better player for it. Plus, he's lost some weight.
He's a very gifted player, and people might disagree with me, but gee, I tell you what, he has improved so much, and he's a lethal weapon on that right side. And as he proved not long ago, he almost put Watini-Zelezniak in that move when Jennings was penalised. Watini-Zelezniak catches that, they score. They come back the left side, the Panthers, and they'll get a real head of steam up now as Kiko takes it back to the halfway line. He's tackled 10 in from touch. Peachy goes from dummy half. He runs across field. He then straightens up. He's still going. Peachy almost got through. Cameron King got him, and then he was still off balance, and he almost got up. Did he lose the ball as he went to get up and play it? He almost gave himself up there. Ball goes to Cleary. He pumps it high in the air. French coming for the ball. So is Watini-Zelezniak, and again he He waits for him to hit the ground and then hammers him.
Yeah.
The referee's going to give a penalty.
No, I think he got him in the air, David. I reckon he did get him in the air, and I'm not sure he didn't last time either. He just timed that not well enough there. Was Teddy Zalesniak, and I reckon this penalty is absolutely correct. See, just little things like that. He's in the air here, jumps, bang, hits him in the air.
Yeah, you're right.
Penalty. That's just a lack of concentration.
DWZ, that was what you're looking for a moment ago.
It's a hard name to spit out. They've got a couple. Wait till Corey Harawira Naira gets out there, see how it goes.
Lost ball. Bringing the ball back from the first hit up after the penalty, knocks it on. At Penrith, they're going to get a great chance here to get back within 2 before half-time, would you believe? They're going to go on the attack from 29 metres out, 20 in from touch, eastern side of the field, 2.5 minutes left in the first half. If they score a converted try here, don't get anywhere near that Parramatta dressing room because Brad Arthur will be...
spitting chips.
Yeah, that and some more, I think.
Yelling out obscenities.
Ball goes into the scrum. They haven't been in the game. Ball comes out wide and another good strong run from Kickow as he's put down.
He's made a difference since he's got out there, Kickow.
Well, he's playing on the left and Yo's playing out on the right, and now the ball is taken ahead again by Penrith, and they've got the ball. They're only 15 or 16 metres out now from the Parramatta line. Open side it goes. Cleary, he gets it on to Maloney, who's gone across the other side of the field. He gets it away now to Edwards. Edwards goes one way, then straightens up Edwards. I thought for a moment he was all the way through, and he's only just taken a desperate tackle by Scott about 2 or 3 metres out from the goal line as Wallace goes back to short side. Hard onto the ball. Another good strong run. McKendry's tackle 5 metres out. Wallace goes back the open side. It comes into Cleary. Cleary throws the dummy. Great tackle from Takarangi. Puts him down a metre or so out. Penalty. Parramatta not allowing Penrith to play the ball correctly. Penalty to Penrith. 5 metres out. 15 in from touch. And I'd be very surprised if we don't see them kick at goal here with 1.5 minutes left on the clock. I know they're going to take the tap.
They'll be taking the tap. I think they need the 6 here. They're going to get a full set in here. So they've got a chance. They're looking fragile here, the Parramatta Eels.
Ball goes away to Cleary. Long pass comes out to that man. And here he comes again, Wonga Blake. And they've got him. And they take him and they tackle him 15 metres out, about 12 in from touch. A horrible play the ball, but they get away with it. Yo takes it into the hit line. Good strong run from Yo. And the young man from Dubbo will play it about 8 metres out from the goal line. He plays it to Wallace. Long pass comes away to Cleary. Inside ball goes to McKendry. He's knocked over 5 metres out. Penrith on the attack. We're in the shadows of half-time. It goes to Wallace. On it goes to Peachy. Peachy for the line back. It goes to Mansour. He won't get there. Good cover defence, and I'm not sure Peachy should have given it to Mansour. He had a very narrow corridor with the cover defence coming in numbers, and in the end the cover defence was too good for the one-man Mansour, and the Penrith attack literally goes over the western touchline, and the Eels lead, closing it on half-time on the low scoreboard by 14 points to 6.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there. They need to take the tackle then, Peachy. They still would have had a couple of tackles up their sleeve. Nothing Mansour would do. He had absolutely no room. When he got the ball, it was probably about 20 centimetres inside the touchline, and that was Hayne over the top who just finished him off. But really, I mean, Peachy needed to have enough vision to understand he should have held the ball and just cut back inside. Would have given the Panthers probably 2 more tackles as the players now walking off half-time here. It's been a good first half of footy, David, hasn't it? The Eels 14 leading the Panthers 6.
It's been an amazing first half of football because Parramatta have dominated the game for about 35 minutes of it, and they're only leading 14 points to 6. And the turning point from my point of view was the Jennings late high shoulder charge, call it what you like, tackle on Mansour after he passed the ball. The penalty goes to the Penrith. Had the ball, had he not done it, Parramatta finish up with the ball 50 metres out, leading 14-0. The next set after the penalty, Penrith score at 14-6, and they could have almost gone in at half-time, could have been 14-12. They weren't entitled to be in the game, but at half-time, Darryl, 14-6, they've got to give themselves a huge opportunity to come out in the second half and pinch the game.
Oh, absolutely they do, David. They're only down by 8 points, and that's nothing in the modern game of football, given the fact the conditions are so hot, anything could happen here. Really, anything could happen.
Certainly could at half-time. It's Penrith leading on the low... I should say Parramatta leading on the low scoreboard by 14 points to 6. Josh Hoffman scored 2 tries. Corey Norman 1. Moses 1 kick from 2 attempts. Norman unsuccessful with his only attempt. Wonga Blake scored the try for the Panthers. It was converted by Cleary. At half-time, the low scoreboard reads Parramatta 14, Penrith 6, and we'll be back at the foot of the mountains very shortly.
Being injured through someone else's negligence is just not fair. This can affect your work, family, and create financial stress. With over 40 years of compensation claims experience, Bryden's lawyers are the experts. With our first consultation free and no-win, no-fee policy, we are ready to help you every step of the way. Time does run out on compensation claims, so call 1-800-848-848 or visit brydens.com.au. Bryden's Lawyers, protecting your future.
Make sure you tune in to the Be That Business Show, sponsored by Telstra. It's your weekly go-to for everything tech and the very latest in advice for small businesses. That's this Wednesday night from 9 on 2GB.
See the full range of Acer Predator gaming machines in-store and online now at Harvey Norman, the website harveynorman.com.au. The Predator Helios G3 notebook offers full throttle performance thanks to the latest Intel Core i7 processor and 6GB NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 graphics. Unlock the potential of Predator hardware with a custom-engineered dual-fan cooling system with the Aero Blade fan. This monster of a machine also features an impressive textured metal chassis and a red backlight that lights up the keys to let you game wherever, whenever. Get serious about gaming with the Acer Predator G3 notebook. They're available in-store and online now at Harvey Norman. They've got stores right across the country, and you can log on to the website harveynorman.com.au. Check them out, the Acer Predator G3 notebook there at Harvey Norman.
Cataract surgery is pretty much routine these days, so rest easy knowing that at the Cataract Clinic you're in very experienced hands. The surgeons at the Cataract Clinic have performed over 10,000 cataract surgeries using the latest implant technology available. And if you have private health cover, the Cataract Clinic has a policy of no gap on your surgery fees. If you need cataract surgery, call the Cataract Clinic in North Sydney on 9460 1188. 9460 1188.
The continuous call team on 2GB, thanks to Coates Hire, Mortgage House, Channel 9, Lowe's, Harvey Norman, Move Yourself Trailers, Bryden's Lawyers and Shimano.
And welcome back to the foot of the mountains, and we're at Penrith Stadium, Panthers Stadium, and it's the home team who are trailing at half-time. The Parramatta Eels lead 14 points to 6, and we'll go through from stats for on deck. It's not hard to go through the obvious ones, but completions. Parramatta 17 from 22. This is the difference. Penrith have completed 11 from 18. Huge difference just there. You don't even have to look at any other stats. That's the difference between the scoreboard at the moment. They've made 194 tackles, Penrith. Obviously, Parramatta haven't made anywhere near as many, 149. And the missed tackles are similar, though. Parramatta have missed 17, Penrith have missed 16. And the penalties favour the Eels. The Eels have had 7 penalties and Penrith 5. And, of course, all of those stats brought to you by On Deck. But, I mean, you mentioned it, Darryl. It had a smell a bit like last night's game that you called. 20 minutes in, you said Parramatta have dominated this game, but they've only got 6 points out of it. A bit like Souths last night.
Absolutely, but they were not fortunate enough. They were good enough to actually turn those 6 into 14, so they led 14-0, and we're doing it reasonably comfortably. But just the one try, a great individual effort from Wonga Blake, has put them under a bit of notice here at the moment. Penrith now would give themselves an opportunity here. It's extremely hot. If those stats turn around, they've completed 11 of 18. I think you said Parramatta 18 of 22 or 23 or something like that. They've had almost 50% more ball, Parramatta, than what Penrith have. And there's only 14-6, so if you're a Panther supporter, I wouldn't be giving up on them here. Anything can happen in this game. It's a strange game, and it's very hot out there, so you just don't know what can happen in the second half and which side. If they take advantage of their mistakes, Penrith, if they just drop their mistakes level, there's no doubt I think they can go on and win this game. In saying that, you still want to be on Parra, but Penrith, without doubt, at home in front of a massive crowd, have got everything to play for.
Of course, the halftime break is brought to you by Australian Hammer Supplies, and it's quite amazing, Piggy. The halftime entertainment is some fellas out there with a dirty, great big hammer trying to hit something on the ground. bit like what you used to have to do at the show and hit something that goes up and rings off a big bell, and it's an Oak promotion. It's great to see the big hammer out there.
Yeah, it certainly is, Thirsty, and obviously I think the first gentleman, he's hit the bell, he's rung the bell.
He did it one-handed.
I think a few of the Penrith players may have done it as well during the week, and it did feature on the Panthers' social media. I think that gentleman was a bit short. He didn't have his Oak Plus.
There he is a bit short.
Well, they only use one hand here, do they?
They did it with two hands. Now they've got to do it with one. This bloke will do it, no worries at all.
I don't think so.
Oh, easy.
Simple.
Oh, and he's cool as a Kiwi too.
Geez, you're doing a good job at halftime, David.
Anyway.
Oh, and it's a lovely, bright, nice day here.
Come on, David.
Australian Hammer Supplies for Peggy Riddell at halftime. What do you think of the game so far?
Oh, look, you boys are right with how you have already called it. Big thing for me, you boys have spoken about Penrith's errors. I think not only the amount of errors, but where the errors have been made on the field. They've been making those errors when they're coming off their own goal line. And that's just given the Parramatta Eels great field position early on in the game. And you have a look on the flip side of Parramatta, when they've made a couple of their errors, or even the Michael Jennings penalty, which was crucial to them, it's all been down the other end of the field, and they've still made Penrith have to work the ball off their own goal line. Massive difference. I like Parramatta's attack. I think they've got plenty of options. I think they've got plenty of bodies in motion, and that's really troubling this Panthers defence. I'm going to stick with the Eels in the second half. I think they can come home and get the job done.
Yeah, I think a mini Dave Foster's won this.
Yeah, he does look a bit like him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks like him when he was 5.
Mate, I've done that before. I'm incredibly weak.
It's that thing where you ring the bell. Yeah, use the big hammer.
I'm no good at it.
I bet you're not.
I'm no good at it.
You didn't like weightlifting when you were playing either, did you?
But this one was where you just swing the hammer and hit the thing and hits the bell. I'm hopeless at it. Are you any good at that sort of stuff?
No, absolutely hopeless.
Good job. You
anyway, they use it with two hands, then they had to use it with their one hand, the right arm. Then there were still two left, and they had to use their left. And the mini Dave Foster, the great axeman from Tasmania, he won it. So another good Oak promotion. Of course, halftime brought to you by Australian Hammer Supplies. We'll be back for the second half at the Panthers Stadium very shortly.
At Woolworths, we've dropped the price on your favourite Easter treats, like 100-gram Lindt chocolate bunnies, dropped from $5.50 to just $4.50 each.
That's why I picked Woolies for Easter.
Our new pool fence is ready for summer, and I installed it myself. I love the savings.
I love that my family's even safer because we've used Protector Aluminium's new Ultimate Pool Fence panels.
And I did it myself.
And I love that the new Ultimate Pool Fence panels are Code Mark certified.
And I installed it all myself.
Protector Aluminium, do-it-yourself pool fencing. Proud partner of Royal Lifesaving Australia. See the range at Bunnings Warehouses or protectoraluminium.com.au.
Wow, I can stream 4K video and download content quickly. TPG's new NBN 50 plan gives you typical evening speeds of 42 megabits per second, which is more than 3 times the speed of the entry-level NBN plan, plus unlimited data on a no-lock-in contract. Now you can go faster on the NBN for only $69.99 a month.
tpg.com.au.
FTTN and B speeds to be confirmed when active. Min charge $199.94 for coverage and terms. See website.
For Kubota tractors, excavators, skid steers, mowers and RTVs, Australian Hammer Supplies Ingleburn is your go-to Kubota destination. A massive $6,000 customer instant rebate and 0% finance on SSV skid steer loaders at Australian Hammer Supplies.
Ciro, Lowe's is celebrating 120 years of proudly clothing Australia.
That's incredible. And they are still 100% proudly Australian and family owned.
With over 200 stores across Australia, plus their online store, Lowe's quality range and incredible value is available to all Aussies.
And with over 2,500 employees, you'll always get the helpful service that Lowe's is famous for.
So come and celebrate with us.
120 years of proudly clothing Australia. At Lowe's.
The continuous call team on 2GB thanks to Tui's New, Rebel, The Daily Telegraph, Garlow's Pies, Oscar, McDonald's and World First.
And welcome back to Panther Stadium, where the Lowe's scoreboard at half-time is Parramatta 14 leading Penrith 6, and we wait for the players to come back out for the second half. The half-time entertainment is over. And I noticed that most of the people are leaving the ground, which would indicate that the players are about to come out. And more importantly, Piggy Riddell, I noticed the cheer girls are coming back down the tunnel, which means the players are going to be very shortly coming onto the park.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, Thursday. They're getting
That's
ready
unusual.
to come back onto the field. Come back on the field. What I will say, Thursday, I know Darryl was talking earlier about the kids being able to come onto the field at full time during that break. I think they announced that after the second bell, all the kids will be allowed to run on the field and enjoy themselves for a little bit.
They better make sure which bell they're ringing, because they come onto the tune of Hell's Bells, don't they, the Penrith side?
Yeah, but I think there's two. There's going to be two sirens, and that'll let the kids come onto the field.
Oh, that's great. Gee, the field looks fantastic. And it's amazing how when we got here, obviously it looked a lot greener because of the moisture, no doubt, in it. As it dries out, doesn't it change colour?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I remember when I played here, it used to be dirt in the middle between the 20-metre line and the other 20-metre line, and probably from 10 metres in from touch, it's just a pile of dirt. The field's now just fantastic.
Well, you remember playing on the cricket ground, watching some of those grand finals from the 70s and the 80s where you played. You look at the cricket ground and think, how did you ever play on that with the cricket pitch in the middle?
They're spoilt now. They're soft. Peggy, you with me?
Yeah, mate, I'm with you.
Is it still hot down there, mate? Still stinking hot or not?
Yeah, it's very hot down here at the moment, but I have just gone into the shade for the second half.
Oh,
the sun's gone over the back of the Western Grandstand, so...
I thought you were saying I stood up.
I wouldn't do that to you, big man.
Clips.
I wouldn't do that to you, but it's a bit cooler now for me, but still going to be very, very warm for the players in this second half.
It certainly is. Jersey flag earlier today. Penrith got up in an entertaining game over Parramatta 26-18. And of course, all these lower grade scores brought to you by Shimano, and Wentworthville defeated Penrith in what was an extremely entertaining New South Wales Cup match. It was 32-24, but Wentworthville at one stage in that game led 24-0, big man.
Yeah,
it was a great comeback from Penrith, and so the two early games. And won't it be nice? I hope we get that fair most of the time we go to the footy this year, where we get the two games early like we did when you played third grade, second grade, first grade. It gives you a feel, or just gives you a club feeling.
It's funny, isn't it? I don't really think they know what they're doing when it comes to the prelim games for first grade sides. Because as you said, in the old days it was third grade, second grade, and then first grade. And this day and age, well, that hasn't happened for how long now? They've had the under 20.
Some clubs used to do it. I used to see it a lot at Penrith, at Cronulla, Penrith, Manly. I think used to see it a bit. Some clubs still did it fairly regularly, but a lot of clubs they didn't have the opportunity to do it, I suppose. But there were some that did it. And then places like Newtown, well, they're going to play their games. Newtown themselves are going to play their games at Henson Park, and North Sydney will want to play their games at North Sydney, because that's part of the reason they're in the competitions. But and it's the same with all the Queensland Cup teams. They've got all their home grounds, haven't they?
It's funny, if you're just looking at these sides as they run out there, Parramatta, I'm just looking at the superstars there, and they've got a couple of them. Obviously, Jared Hayne is one. Jared Hayne's been pretty good. He hasn't had a lot to do. He's run a bit of decoy play, and it has created a couple of tries. Bevan French has been safe at fullback, hasn't he? But we haven't seen him inject himself just yet. He's the sort of player you'd think at the back end of this game could become very dangerous.
He could be very dangerous. One thing too that I would like to mention is that whoever designed the Parramatta jerseys, they're beautiful. They're lovely. Except that, numbers are put on Guernseys so that people can identify the players, and not just us, the people at the ground. They're there as a form of communication to help the promotion of the game. Well, the Parramatta numbers are dreadful. In fact, you might as well not have them. So next time you produce a Guernsey like the one that you've got now, can you make the numbers about 3 times as big, just to make sure the general public can see who they are as well?
They are small, aren't they?
Well, they're not good. It's not a good promotion.
Penrith runs are fine. They're in white, and they're on the back of a black, and then you've got the oak up above it, but they're quite big and they're very distinctive.
Look, it's all part of the promotion of the game. You try and tell people like that. And, of course, people with ponytails have got no idea what you're talking about because they don't know anything about the game. McKendry takes the kick off. And they're defending the northern end in the second half. They've had the Penrith Panthers, the Trotting Club end, and here comes Campbell Gillard. Gee, that's a good run. It was an old-fashioned props run. He started under the goalpost. He took it about 12 metres out, and he got beyond the 30-metre line. They're going to play the ball 5 metres short of the halfway line. Edwards is in at dummy half. He offloads to Fisher-Harris, and Fisher-Harris is up to the halfway line. Good start for the second half of the Panthers. They go back to the left to Yo. Yo takes it hard into the hit line. He's tackled 40 metres out, 12 metres in from touch, so it's a good opening for them. Last tackle coming up for Penrith. They'll go back the open side to Cleary. Under pressure, he puts a kick in. Was he hampered with after he put the kick in? It's caught down on the far side of the field by Hoffman. He's going to be tackled about 15 metres out from his own goal line, and he'll get up and play it at the southern end of the field, the Howell Oval end. And the half-time score, just reminding you, on the low scoreboard, Parramatta leading 14 points to 6 as Hayne brings the ball back. He's going to play the ball about 20 metres out on the southern goal line. Ball's played. They'll go back the right side of the field. No, I thought they were going to give it to Manor, but they decided to go straight and hard, and they tackle about 30 metres out on the goal line. And French is going to play the ball. It comes away now, and taking it up strongly is Beau Scott, and he's tackled 12 metres short of the halfway line, 15 metres in from touch. Cameron King darts into dummy half. He'll come the open side, and the ball goes away to Kane Evans. He threw a pass that wasn't a great pass. Matangi can't handle it. He knocks it on, and Penrith come up with it, 39 metres out from Parramatta's line, and then a penalty for not allowing Penrith to get up and play the ball. And just in the opening minute, you'd swear they swapped Guernseys at half-time.
Absolutely. They look lacklustre now, Parramatta, for some reason. I'm not sure why, but they've come out and seriously look like they're half asleep. Penrith's first set was a good first set. Parramatta's was awful. Now Penrith in a strong attacking position.
And bringing the ball back. And it's McKendry who's going to play the ball about 11 metres out. He's lost the ball, but the referee said no. There was a little push and a tug in there from Matangi. And Wallace takes the quick tap. And Maloney didn't realise that he had to hold the ball. Otherwise the ball would have got to Wonga Blake a lot quicker than it did. And Wonga Blake has wrestled to the ground 15 metres out. Opportunity here for the Panthers to get a little bit closer. 14-6 on the low scoreboard. It favours Parramatta as Yo gets a pass away to Fisher Harris, and Fisher Harris has taken about 12 metres out from the goalpost, southern end of the field, plays it to Wallace, and on it goes, and Cleary spies an opening, and then it closes. Good tackle from Scott. Couple came in over the top, one of whom was Hayne, and then turtling around then was Moses from dummy half. Ball goes across. Here's Kickow. Whoa, what a run, straight over the top of them as if he was a Mack truck, and he gets them into double figures with a good run, good try, and Penrith are certainly back in business. 14-10 on the low scoreboard.
Oh, they're half asleep, Parramatta. I said just before, they look like they've come out and they're snoozing. They're just going through the motions. Kickow's been good since he's got out there, David. I thought his last 20 minutes in the first half was very good. This was just a one-on-one miss. He got the ball. He went straight over the top of one of the Parramatta defenders. Fullback, I think, might have got there to try and stop him. Then he just rolls over with two of them clinging onto him and plants it down just to the left side of the post here. This is a great try for him. Too strong he was. Straight over the top of Jared Hayne it was. Jared Hayne tried to hold on to him, couldn't do it. Beau Scott, I think, came in to try and help Hayne, but neither of them could control Kickow. He kicked out of the tackle and scores a wonderful individual try.
Yeah, I think Peggy, he got through French to start with, and then the next two just couldn't stop the big fella.
Yeah, and that's, I think you've got to give a rap. I think it's Peter Wallace who identified that. He would have saw that French had put himself in the line on that short side. He just put the bigger man on him, and Kickow ran straight over the top of him, then straight over Hayne. Hayne couldn't do too much. He tried to hold him up, but Kickow was just too strong for him. I don't know. You boys was talking about it. The first set from Penrith in this second half. They made two really massive runs. They rolled Parramatta, then got the penalty. That first start to the second half, it just started the tone. It set the tone for them. Now they've got first points.
And here's the Cleary moving in and adding the extras. And on the low scoreboard, it's 14-12. Parramatta leading Penrith after they led 14-0 midway through the first half. And we're just watching the replay thanks to Coates Hire. Here, Kickow straight over the top of French and through the attempted tackle of Hayne and Scott to open the scoring in the second half. But it all started from the first couple of runs. Campbell Gillard's was a beauty. It was a huge run. It was an old-fashioned props run to me, Darryl. You know when the props used to line up from underneath the goalposts and charge ahead, and the timing was good. It was a great run.
Well, all that good work that Parramatta, all the heart, the blood, sweat and tears they put in the opening 30 minutes it's basically evaporated with their last 10 of the first half and their first 5 or so here in the second half. They've now got a real game on their hands here, Para.
Amazing how games change. Leota was the one making mistakes and dropping balls in the first half. Kane Evans just threw a horrible pass to Matangi, who dropped it. Then Matangi was the one that gave the penalty away. It's a strange game sometimes. Little simple mistakes from the same people can often turn games James inside out. Ball goes back to the left. Kick out, making ground again. He's tackled 5 short of the halfway line. 12 in from the far side of the field. It goes to Mansour, away to Cleary. He throws a dummy. He's not going to be allowed to get through. He's tackled 49 metres out from Parramatta's line. Western side of the field. Back it goes to Maloney. Maloney pumps it high in the air. It should be caught by Hoffman. It started to get away from him. Hoffman had a look up. He saw there was a witch's hat drill possibly brewing, and so he decided to utilise his feet and went past a couple of defenders and gets the ball 20 metres out from his own goal line as Avara takes it 30 metres out in the second run of the set.
It was an awkward kick, wasn't it? But he did well to take that, Hoffman. He's been quite good today, Hoffman. I think he's played as well as I've seen him play in a Parramatta jersey today. I think he's been really good. He scored 2 tries and he's answered every time there's been some attack coming at him. He's answered strongly.
Kane Evans takes the ball up and he's not going to make a mistake this time. He just held it close to his chest and ran straight and hard, and it took 3 defenders to bring him down, the former Rooster, as the ball goes back to the right side, and they take the ball back to within 39 metres of the goal line. Hayne will get up and play the ball. Hasn't had much ball in hand today. Ball comes to Moses. Up goes a kick. It's a short bomb. Coming for the ball is Edwards. Parramatta got there first. They've knocked it back. It should go into touch, and it does. Moses chasing across field. He was thinking about flicking it back infield, and there was just a slight danger. Kickout was lurking, and so in the end he said, I'll just take this into touch, because if he flicked it back infield just to keep it alive, there was a chance Penrith would have pounced and possibly gone the length.
It was an awful kick. At the end of the day, the kick really went nowhere. There was a player, as you said, someone went up and hit it back about 20 metres. In the end, Penrith had probably got the ball closer to the Parramatta try line than what Parramatta were when they kicked it.
Yeah, that's fair comment. Ball taken ahead by Penrith, up over the halfway. Wallace goes back to the right to Cleary as they come back to this western side of the field, and Yo is going to be tackled. He's tackled about 39, 38 metres out now from Parramatta's line, 5 in from touch. He plays it. Blake goes back the open side. It comes to Cleary. He drifts across field. He gives the pass away to Fisher Harris, who got his arms free but couldn't pop a pass to an unmarked Maloney. He was in a hole, Jimmy Maloney too. He's got the ball now, Maloney. He puts a kick in. It's for the far corner, but it's got too much height and depth on it, and French read it well and sprinted across field and gathers it up, and he'll play the ball 10 out from his own goal line, 5 in from touch on the eastern side of the field. But I go back to what I said about 5 minutes ago, big man. I swear blind they've swapped Guernseys at half time.
Yeah, they're the ones with the spring in their step at the moment, the Panthers, haven't they? And they're keeping Parramatta down in their own territory here. Parramatta desperate for a penalty here. They need it. They're only at the 20-metre line. This is tackle 3, I think. I think Hayne now starting to get involved and having a few darts around the rucks.
Ball with Parramatta and out of dummy half. They quickly moved the ball down the right side of the field and went to Hoffman on the right. He was going to try and get around his man, but the cover defence gathers him up and hurls him across the touchline, 45 metres out from Parramatta's line.
There's a bad play, wasn't it? He tried to get on the outside there, Mitchell Moses, and decided to throw it to his winger, Hoffman, but he was well handled there by Josh Mansour, who just grabbed him once again. Hardly any room to move in there, and he just got nailed by Mansour, bundled him into touch.
Well, that's why he's an Australian winger, Josh Mansour.
Good player, isn't he?
He's a good player. It's good to see him back starting the season, which, of course, he didn't do last year, Pig.
No, he certainly didn't. And he just showed him the touchline. He knew he had him there, Mansour on Hoffman. I don't know why they went down there. There was no room to play. They needed to bring the ball back in midfield. They've gone down there, and it's another error from the Parramatta Eels in this second half.
Yeah, just look down there on the bench. There's Alvaro, Manna, Brown and Marawa.
I think he'll make some changes quickly. I'd get Brown out there. I think Brown is one of the enthusiastic players they do have. I'd be getting him out there ASAP.
A lot of metres in that 4-2, isn't there? Especially in up the guts. Cleary goes one way. He offloads to Yo. Yo has taken it a good tackle. It was one that had to be made. It was a beauty. It was made by Kane Evans. About 20 metres out in the goal line. Cleary goes back to the left. Maloney gets a pass away under pressure. Kick out. Took it well under pressure. Kick out. Gets out of 1. Gets out of 2. He's still going, the big fella. He's tackled only about 6 or 7 metres out. Penalty conceded.
Inside 10.
Takarangi.
Inside 10, that's a smother, seriously.
Fair dinkum.
He dropped the ball then as he was trying to get up. There was a player all over him. I don't mind them penalising him, but I would have penalised him for the right reason. Player all over him, he fumbled the ball, then they've come up with inside 10. That's a lot of crap.
Inside 10, well, why didn't they penalise it half an hour beforehand? You're going to have the shot at penalty goal. Takarangi was the man underneath, I think, wasn't it? That gave the penalty. Yeah, Takarangi's the man, I think he's pinged for, certainly it was involved in the loss of the ball, tackled him a second time, did he? Yeah, perhaps. Little leg pull, but yeah, surely that's the penalisable offence. But if they're inside the 10... No.
Anyway, don't do it to yourself, David.
No. Anyway, here comes Cleary, make it 14 all.
He's changed the game, kick out. He's been fantastic. He's been, I don't know what his stats are, but he's made a heap of metres. He's made breaks just about every time he's got the ball, and he's looked dangerous every time he's got the ball. He's just following Jimmy Maloney everywhere he goes. Kick-out's following him, and at the moment he's reaping the benefits of it.
So here's Cleary from virtually in front of the sticks. An opportunity to level it up and make it 14 all on the low scoreboard. And here he comes. Cleary moves in, kicks it towards Howell Oval, straight over the black dot between the sticks. And Parramatta and Penrith, 14 all here at Panthers Stadium. After Parramatta led 14-0 midway through the first half. And we had a chance on the Coates higher replay to have a look at that incident again. Well, he's inside the 10, but gee, the penalty, there was no risk. There was a penalty for a third tackle almost from Takarangi. He got up at least twice to try and play the ball and wasn't allowed to do so. 14 all. Who would have thought so? Mark Piggy Riddell?
Oh, no, it's just, I can't believe it, Thirsty, with how well Parramatta started this match. You know, Darryl mentioned they probably should have been further in front. Penrith then got that try just before half-time. And since then, it's just been all Penrith Panthers. And again, Campbell Gillard with another strong run.
Yeah, the crowd love what he's done because he's been very involved in this second half too. That's another strong run. Fisher Harris, who started the game, another good run as he gets it back to within 8 metres of the halfway line. Don't watch out, Parramatta. They might go to the left. Kicko's over there, and they do go backside. Maloney, he gets it. He doesn't give it to Kicko. A long cut-out pass goes to Mansour, and he's chopped down about 42 metres out. They go the open side. Here's Peachy drifting across field, straightens up, and Peachy almost gets through a gap. He's tackled about 28 metres out. 20 metres in from touch. They're on the attack again here, the Panthers. 14 all on the low scoreboard. Up goes the bomb from Cleary. It's going to come down. It's going to come down towards Avaha. The ball's plucked out of the air by Wonga Blake. He throws it back on the infield. It's picked up. It kept it going. Quickly the ball goes across field. It's loose on the ground, and picking the ball up is Mansour. It was certainly a chance there for Parramatta to pick the ball up. A kick from Mansour rebounds off a Parramatta player's body or head, and Parramatta come up with it. Tell me what happened in all of that.
Oh, well, you tell me. I mean, you called it brilliantly. The kick went up in the air. It was taken by Wonga Blake. Then as he was being tackled, he just flicked it and sort of slingshot it over his head. Unfortunately, he did go to a Panthers player, but he didn't know what to do with it. And eventually, it got out to Mansour, who put a kick in, ricocheted off a Parramatta player. And fortunately for the Eels, one of their players has picked it up. Yeah, Timmy Manners on there. I think they need to make a few more changes, get some legs out there in the forwards.
The amazing is that Penrith almost scored out of nothing on Wonga Blake. 21,500 the crowd out here. And that does take you back to 2003 when they continually broke the ground record here on the way to winning the premiership. A high kick comes down towards Watini Zalesniak. He gets it up over the 20. He runs it back to the 30. He's almost back to the 40. And that's an indication that the chase wasn't that good because he brought that back 30 metres.
Well, there's a couple of arms just thrown out there too, David. They look like they are getting tired. Big Campbell Gillard, he's just got back on side. He's huffing and puffing a bit too. I reckon we'll see a Campbell Gillard special soon.
Ball fed to Maloney on the left and he gets it away, and here's Kicko again, and Kicko gets it back on the inside. Opportunity coming up here for Cleary. He gets a pass back, great tackle from behind, brings him down. Opportunity comes to the left. No, Peachy decides to go from dummy half. Can he keep it alive? It's loose on the ground, picked up by Fisher Harris, and there's going to be a penalty to Penrith right in front. And is someone going into the bin? Someone's going to the bin for 10 for a professional foul.
Moses.
I think it's Mitchell Moses.
Yep, going to the bin. They all went up to the referee and said that's 10 in the bin. You know what? If he throws a dummy, Dylan Edwards, he scores then. And who else was it? It was Maloney got the ball. He ran to his left. He brought Kickow again back on his inside. Popped a beautiful ball to Dylan Edwards. Edwards threw the pass back on the inside to the halfback who got the ball there, Nathan Cleary. But if he threw the dummy, Edwards, he scores for your life. Great work from Kickow again. He's playing a blinder today, Kickow.
And the booing, of course, Mitch Moses taking, he might get off the field, Piggy, before tomorrow.
Yeah, he's certainly taking his time, still on the field. Trainer now with him, trying to get him off the field. Moses actually did a massive effort. He got there to make the tackle. I think it was on Cleary to play the football. He made the effort to get there, but then as he got up, he wasn't square at marker. and he tried to make another tackle. The referees played a bit of an advantage, and once Parramatta got the football, they penalised him, sent him to the bin.
And Cleary puts the home side in front, and have a look at the Panthers faithful. They were down 14-0. At Panthers fans saying, can we get a wooden spoon? Can Phil Gill take over? They're in front, fellas, at 16-14.
Where are all your mates who are texting you all that stuff? You know what? I would have nearly taken the tap then. I reckon with a man short, at the moment they've got all the momentum, Penrith. I'm not convinced the kick was the right way to go there.
Low scoreboard, 16-14. Penrith lead Parramatta after Parramatta lead 14-0. And having a look at that replay, thanks to Coates Hire, it was, Mitch Moses made a great tackle on Cleary, which stopped the try, but then he got up and from an offside position, again, he prevented Penrith from scoring, and for that, it's deemed to be a professional foul, because without the illegal play, Penrith would have scored under the post. You know, sometimes I wonder whether there's a case for professional. When you give a man 10 in the bin for a professional foul like that, you wonder where there is a case for a penalty try. I'm not saying that's a penalty try. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think there was any penalty try.
Yeah, but you know where I'm coming from? They give the bloke... They put a bloke in the bin because they... anyway, let's not harp on that. It's just a thought for another day. Campbell Gillard, another good run. He's had a huge second half, this fella. And maybe that's why Griffin kept him on the bench. Don't tire out in the big in the middle of the sun at the 4 o'clock sun. Come on at 4:30. Get another half hour of sun out of the road. Bay ball played. Ball comes back to the right. Cleary goes across field. Cleary goes straight through. He can't get the pass away back on the outside. He's ankle tap from behind. Here goes Wallace. Wallace drifts across field. The ball's dropped in centre field. And that is a huge relief for Parramatta because Penrith were coming to get him.
Maloney, I think, dropped it too. That's the second one he's put down today. They were coming to get him. It was a great run there from the halfback Nathan Cleary, who's had a lot of little darts around the rucks today. Just hasn't been able to poke his head through, but on that occasion he did get through. It was a really good tackle from Corey Norman who stopped him. Then on the backup he shouldn't have dropped that, Maloney. He needed to catch that because they are just on the absolute rampage here at the moment, Penrith. The Parramatta Eels have got no answers for them. They need a really good set here, Para. I don't think Corey Harawira-Naira's been out there yet, has he?
No.
He might create a few problems when he gets out there too, because the other bloke has been sensational kick out.
Well, it says something that they've been able to keep him back, and they're keeping him back with 23 minutes left on the clock. Imagine what his fresh legs are going to do out there.
Well, they're down to 12 men too, Parramatta, so I'd be getting him out there right now.
Manor takes the ball up over the halfway line. They've scored 3 tries to 2, Parramatta, but since half-time it has been all Penrith. In fact, since a moment about 10 minutes before half-time, it has been all the home side. The ball comes back to the left, and French tries to work his way through. He's tackled about 25 metres out. He's 12 metres in from touch, and Jennings will get the ball from dummy half. He sends it to Brown. Brown offloads to Scott. Scott straightens up. He's gone through a hole. He's tackled about 19 metres out from the Penrith line. 15 in from touch. It goes now across to King, and King gets it away. It goes away then to Corey Norman. He puts a kick in. It comes off the referee. It's picked up by Penrith, and Penrith runs it across. Surely doesn't the game stop when the ball hits the referee?
I would have thought so. I mean, I don't know what the rule is, but surely there's a rule when the ball hits the referee. It must be a scrum or something.
I always thought the rule used to be, here's Cleary throwing a dummy. He's gone straight through. He's got Blake with him. Blake sprinting away. They won't catch Wonga Blake. He sprints down the right wing and puts the Panthers in front by 6 with a try that was started by Nathan Cleary. It is 20 points to 14 on the low scoreboard with a kick to come.
Well, brilliant play again from Nathan Cleary. He's been threatening all day to do that, but once again, they had the overlap. He got the ball. He got on the outside of the defenders. He had players on his left. He had players on his right. They were calling on the left for him to put the kick through, but he knew better. What a classy kid he is. He got the ball. It was Dylan Edwards who threw him the ball. Cleary got it. The winger came out of the line, threw a dummy, went straight through. As I said, a couple of players on his inside, a couple on his outside. He summed it up brilliantly. Had a look left, had a look right. Then he gave it to Blake, who had the pace to get there. There was the fullback coming across and covered a fence in Bevan French, but he couldn't get to him, and Blake slams it down in the corner for a sensational Penrith try.
Well, he's a big, strong fella. He's very quick. And Nathan Cleary is showing us why he'll be probably wearing a blue Guernsey with 7 on it this year, Mark Piggy-Riddell.
Yeah, he certainly did extremely well there, didn't he, Thirsty Nathan Cleary? The other thing as well, and I'm sure he would have noticed it, obviously we've got Mitchell Moses for the Parramatta Eels off in the sin bin, but Corey Norman was also in the back play receiving attention, so he wasn't in the Parramatta Eels defensive line either. They were well and truly short, Parramatta, and shot because Cleary just took it to the line, a dummy, and he was away. A beautiful try to the Penrith Panthers. They are well on top at the moment.
And here's Cleary again to kick them 8 points clear on the low scoreboard. This is the same blade of grass that Mitchell Moses converted the first try of the afternoon from. Converted a Josh Hoffman try from this early on. Seems a long time ago. Here's the kick from Cleary. It's coming around. It's coming around. It's got the legs. It crosses the crossbar. And more importantly, between the two big sticks, the touch judges' flags go up. And Penrith are in front 22-14 on the low scoreboard. Oh, unbelievable. Parramatta led 14-0, doing it easily. A mistake from Jennings. And since then, Penrith have basically pulled Parramatta's pants down.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? And Brad Fittler's here today and he's worked with Channel 9. Look, there's your halfback. I wanted him in the side last year for New South Wales. I don't care how old he is. He's the best halfback in the game. He can kick goal. What about the kick from the touchline? They're in front by 6. He kicks it, makes it 8 in front. He's never going to miss. I mean, he is the most level-headed young bloke I think I've seen. How old is he, 20 or 21?
He's got
That's all he is.
He's got ice running through his veins. And we said...
He's a gun player and he's just so clever.
And we'll go back.
Campbell
Gillard's had a huge second half. I think we're going to go back to the studio shortly to go to Mark Levy around the grounds. And of course, around the grounds we go for Mortgage House. Are you there, Mark?
I certainly am, Davey. I've just got some team news for the later game. We're calling the Titans 1-17. Big news for the Raiders. Blake Austin will end up starting at 5'8". Aiden Caesar going back to the bench. Sia Soliola will start. Junior Paulo back to the bench. The full call coming up with myself and Chris Warren at 6:30.
Yeah, and of course that game immediately following this game here, and if it is pulsating as this is an amazing game. Parramatta lead 14-0. Parramatta on the low scoreboard leading 22-14. Up goes a kick from Cleary. No one wants it. Penrith players chasing through have got it. They've got an opportunity here. Yo gets it. Yo decides to kick back into a space behind them. It finds touch 11 metres out. Parramatta appealing that the ball went out on the full. Bevan French saying to the touchy, gee, it looked as if it bounced in the field of play from here. And Yo laughing and saying, well, I don't kick too often, but there's nothing wrong with a kick in the end.
He's a damn fine player, I know that. What about the catch from Wateni Zelezniak there? They're just showing the replay of the kick here from Yo. It really was a nothing kick. I don't really know what he was trying to do. I think that bounced in the field of play. Yeah. I think that's okay.
Yeah, Coates High replay clearly shows the ball bounced inside the field of play. I don't know what Bevan French was looking at. But the thing was that you're right. Watini Zelezniak went up for the ball, but the only reason, Mark Piggy-Riddell, that he got such a good play at the ball was because no one from Parramatta wanted to catch the ball.
Yeah, exactly right, Thirsty. They didn't want a bar of it either, so I don't know what's happened to this Parramatta Eels side. Obviously, Moses, he's due back on the field in the matter of moments. I think his time's almost up.
Well, an amazing afternoon here at the foot of the mountains, and it's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're a betting man, you'll be backing Penrith, because they've just held all the aces for most of this second half and for the last few moments of the first half. Hayne finally gets a bit of space on the far side. He runs it up over the halfway line. Ball goes back to the left as here's Brown, and Brown goes straight. He goes hard. He's tackled 36 metres out from Penrith's line. We've hardly seen the football at this end of the field in the second half. There's a kick from Norman, and that's a steady kick. He realised they've still only got 12 men, Darryl, so he kicks it into touch to let the clock run down a bit further, and by the time the scrum sets, I reckon he'll be back on the field, Mitch Moses.
Mitch Moses just made his way to the sideline, so he can't be too far off. I would have thought he might have had another minute or two here, but there's a player down at the moment getting some attention. I think it could be Kickout, who has changed the game. I've got no doubt he's changed the game. He came on after about 20 minutes. They were looking flat, Penrith, and from the moment he came on the field, he's created problems for the Parramatta defence on the Parramatta right side. He's down at the moment. He'd be a bit tired. He's done plenty of running, but he's going to be okay. And they're still waiting for the other bloke to get on there, I think. Is he out there yet, Harawira Naira?
I haven't seen Harawira Naira get out there. You haven't seen Harawira Naira out there, Pig?
He's just about to come on now. He's just after this scrum packs. I think he's going to get straight onto the field.
He might come on, actually, for kick out.
I think he is. So the trainer running out there. So Harold Wiranira comes on with 16 and a half minutes to go. Just when you think, oh, well, that's good, we've weathered the storm, on comes one of the most devastating runners in the game, who's having to have fresh legs. Ball played to Wallace, and Wallace gets it away to Merrin, and Merrin runs to the line. Kiko's, he doesn't want to come off anyway, as he was running up in support of Merrin there. Wallace out of dummy half. He got a pass away. It's picked up by Dylan Edwards. He goes one way, he goes the other. He tries to keep it alive. He can't. He's tackled 45 metres out from Parra's line. 20 in from touch. Open side they go. Mansour has it. Throws a dummy. Tries to get through the defensive line. He can't. He's tackled about 30 metres out now. Southern goalpost. Back to Cleary. Cleary on the right. He puts a little kick over the top. It's a dab kick, but French does well to pick it up. Good chase from Cleary, puts him down 10 metres out from the goal line and 15 in from touch.
Just so composed, isn't he, for a young bloke? He looks like he's bulked up a little bit this year too, Nathan Cleary.
Yeah,
Ivan might have bulked up, I'm not sure, but Nathan has.
Couldn't imagine Ivan bulking up.
Isn't he just a composed young bloke?
Oh, yeah. And he's been like
impressive.
that. He's been like that since he came into first grade. Remember, everyone said he's too small, he's not ready. And he's shown us all through his career as the ball quickly is moved to the right side by Parramatta, and they get the ball back to the halfway line. So I said they've hardly played the ball in Penrith half at all in this second half, as the ball is fed to Brown. Away it goes into Norman. And Norman on the last play didn't realise of the last play. He was under enormous pressure. He gets the ball in. Moses keeps it alive. Goes to Hayne. Hayne keeps it alive. It's taken on the full by Edwards, about 10 metres out from his own goal line. Long ball comes away to Atini Zalesniak. And he'll go straight through. Oh, he can't link up. But he's dropped the ball, and Parramatta will come up with it. They're going to come up with it, Parramatta. It'll be the first knock on. Mahu tried to keep it alive under desperate circumstances in the hope that Jennings might be able to go the length, but it didn't happen. They'll play the first knock on, and that might be the error that gives Parramatta a sniff to get back, as we see Kickout coming past us. Is he holding his sternum
It
there?
looks like he's either his arm or his chest or something. He's clearly got a problem, because he was down before, but he's got a nice player who's come on to replace him. What a performance from him. I can't believe the Panthers aren't clapping him.
We'll get Dr. Riddell to make an assessment as he walks past. What do you think the problem is, Pig?
Yeah, I've assessed him, and I'm thinking it's sternum, boys. I think he's right.
The other thing could be he's pooped.
That could have something to do with it as well.
And of course, Mark Piggy, Riddell and Darryl Broman brought to you by BF Goodrich, and the low scoreboard at the moment, 22 points to 14 in favour of Penrith over Parramatta, after Parramatta lead 14-0, and Parramatta with the ball. They're 30 metres out. They've got to get some points on the board, you'd reckon, very shortly, if only to give themselves some confidence, because they haven't looked like scoring in the second half. The ball is played. They go back the right side. Takarangi quickly away it goes then to Moses, who's taken in a high tackle. That's a high tackle from Peachy. That'll be a penalty.
Gee, the head flung back too. He knows how to milk it too, let me tell you. The head flung back like it was knocked off and going into Botany Bay. But it was a high tackle, so there's their chance, Parramatta. They need to capitalise here. There's still 13 and a half minutes to go in this game, David. That's an eternity in the modern game. They're down by 8. It's 22 points to 14. Panthers leading the Eels at the moment. They need to just find some composure here, the Eels.
Wasn't quite the guillotine, but he was trying to think it was.
They threw the head back,
He was trying to sell it. And let's see what they can do here. Hayne gets it and he runs straight, and he's taken about 3 or 4 metres out from the goal line. He'll get up and play it. He'll play it to King, and here comes Manahan. Oh, gee, he almost got through. He stopped right on the line, and he'll play the ball about a metre out. Campbell, Gillard, Tarmo and Edwards there to stop him as King throws a long pass. It goes now to Moses. On it goes then to Corey Norman, who tries to get through them with a step and a little bit of a show and go. Doesn't quite get there. French at dummy half. Not sure what's going on. Throws the ball to Moses. Moses runs to the line. Hard onto the ball is Brown. Brown can't get his arms free to keep it alive. Good defence chops him down. 12 metres out from the goalpost. 20 metres in from the western side of the field. Taking it up, Moaroa, who's back out there. Good tackle, puts him down. Only 5 metres out. Tarmo was in there. There was another, it was Campbell Gillard as well. Ball goes to Moses. They try the same move. Quickly to French. French for the line. Cover the fences there. Roll him into the in-goal area. He can't get the ball down.
And the crowd went up too. They reckon the pass from Hayne to French was forward. I think it might have been as well. The referee let it go. French did everything possible to try and roll himself over the line, but the defence from the Panthers was too good there for Bevan French. Pulled him up, right on the line as he tried to get the ball down. They turtled him, put him on his back. Here's where they need to fire up, Parramatta. They can't afford to give away a penalty here, but they've got to get off their line here and keep Penrith in their own 10-metre zone.
I think what they've got to do, Darryl, you're right, defence-wise, and try and get a penalty. Try and get the ball, try and do something, because they're not going to win the game the way they've played in their second half, but that was their most promising performance. The ball is played 12 metres out from the Panthers line. Away it goes across to Cleary. On it comes to this man who's only just come on, Corey Harawira-Naira. And he's tackled 20 metres out as the ball's played to Edwards. And back it goes the open side to Merrin. And Merrin is tackled 30 out from his own goalpost, 32 metres out. Last tackle coming up. So Parramatta's defence has been good in this set. It's fed to Cleary. Cleary on the last play. Kicks it straight down the throat of French. And French gathers it. He's over his own 30. Gets back to the 40. Gets away from Maloney. Went back to the open side, but the man who came down with Maloney affected a very good tackle, and it was Yeo. Because if he got away from Yeo, there was a promising opportunity coming up down that right side. Parramatta to play the ball on the halfway line. 22-14, the low scoreboard reads. Penrith leading Parramatta. After Parramatta, as I said, it led 14-0 early on. Alvaro brings it back to within 42 metres of Penrith line. At dummy halfers, Cameron King. He runs straight. He runs hard. He got rid of a man called Wallace who was offside, but he pulled away from him. Wallace is down on the ground, not 100%. The ball goes across to Norman. Norman floats across field. In turn, it goes away to the right side of the field to Moses, who's hammered once and then hammered again on the ground by Maloney. The referee said that's okay. Wallace is still receiving attention. Ball goes back to the left side. Here goes the kick. It's a high kick. They're coming through on this kick. And Edwards goes above the ball and takes it brilliantly.
Hell of a take, wasn't it? It was brilliant. He had Hayne coming down on him. I think it was French, the other Parramatta player, and he out-jumped them both. Took it beautifully in the air. Went to ground. Penrith now trying to find their way and get their way out of their own half. That's a good run from Tamo.
He's tackled 22 metres out. He plays it to Peachy, and Peachy darts out a dummy half. Good strong run from him as he takes a bit of pressure off his forwards. He gets back to within 12 of the halfway line. 20 in from touch. Edwards, who's played a lot of dummy half in this second half, again comes in and does the job. He offloads to Merrin. Merrin keeps it alive. Back it goes to Edwards. Edwards is in the clear. Will they catch him? There's support back on the inside in the form of Maloney. Edwards tries to run around them all. He's knocked over. He gets up. He regains his balance and he'll play the ball. And he'll play the ball about 2 or 3 metres out from the goal line. Southern end of the field. Back it goes to Maloney. A long ball comes to Cleary. Cleary will decide to have a crack on his own. He loses the ball, but in doing so he threw it backwards. It's picked up. It's a knock on.
Knock on from Mansour. He's claiming it went backwards. I think he's got an argument, I reckon there's an argument the ball went back, but they ruled knock on. There's Parramatta players down everywhere here. What about the break from the fullback? Geez, he's a good player, Dylan Edwards. He's just sniffing around the middle of the rucks. Made a break. He almost got there. Very nearly got there. I'm not sure if Parramatta got the energy to get up the other end and score here. There's still 8.5 minutes to go in the game. Plenty of time for Parramatta, but I don't know if they've got the artillery to do it.
Yeah, I think Mark Piggy-Riddell, you'd agree with that, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. They look out on their feet, Parramatta. It's going to take something special to win here. Not only, they're down by 8 points, so they need to score twice. At the moment, they don't look like scoring. Just quickly, the man with the ball, Nathan Brown, huge rap for him. Unfortunately, he's lost the ball. I put the curse on him because he was the player who made the tackle on Edwards when he broke out of the tackle just on the try line. He got across and stopped him, but he's come up with a crucial error here. Panthers with the football.
Commentators curse. It'll happen a lot. 22 points to 14. Penrith lead Parramatta on the low scoreboard, and we're about to see Penrith come up with a scrum feed. About 28 metres out from the goal line, 20 metres into the eastern touchline. The Panthers fans are pretty happy, and so they should be.
Absolutely they should be. It's been a fantastic second half from them. You know what? They wanted it more, David. They came out. You could tell from the moment they came out in the second half, they wanted to get back in the game. And Parramatta, on the other hand, were on their heels. They were prepared to let the game flow. No one going there taking control and trying to win the game for themselves. They're prepared to just go through the motions, and they're going to pay the penalty here. Penrith at the moment, I know there's still a long time to go in this game, nearly 8 minutes, but Penrith are well on top.
I think it was McKendry and Campbell-Gillard that made those two big runs that started the second half. And from then on, the Penrith, you could physically see them lift. They were up over the halfway and tackle 4. And from then on, they have dominated this second half. As the ball is fed, and that's not a good pass from Cleary, but gee, Watini Zalesniak has done wonderfully well. The ball was behind him. It had knock-on written all over it, but somehow he stopped well enough to stop the ball from hitting the ground. Ball is fed to Harawira-Naira. He plays the ball 22 metres out. He gets it on to Tamo. Tamo comes hard onto the ball. A try here and certainly would seal the game, but they're in front by 8 as the ball goes back the left side of the field to Merrin. Merrin charges onto the ball. Comes to the big fella Campbell-Gillard. He's tackled a few metres out on the goal line. Couple of metres out. Opportunity for Penrith to seal it as Wallace goes open side then. Away it goes to Cleary. Cleary goes across field. Goes to Edwards. Here's Wonga Blake. Wonga Blake's already scored one sensational try, and he's tackled really 2 sensational tries. They both had something special about them. Ball fed to Cleary. Cleary gets off his line, puts a grubber kick in there, coming from everywhere, but somehow Parramatta's got back there to clean it up, and it's Jared Hayne who does wonderfully well and then runs at 18 metres back from his own goal post.
Well, that was Gabe said bingo there. If Hayne didn't get that ball out of the in-goal area, I reckon that was a good run from Hayne. They've dropped it. They've dropped it. They've knocked it on here, Parramatta. Penrith will get it again. Scrum feed, 25 metres out from the Parramatta line. Surely that's enough for them now.
Jennings. He's had a disappointing game, in my opinion, Mark Piggy Riddell.
He'll be disappointed, Thirsty, won't he? He carried the football strongly there. The ball just pops out. There's just some strong defence from Penrith. But, Thirsty, when you mentioned it, it's like the two teams had changed jerseys at half-time. That's exactly what it's been like. Penrith came out with all the enthusiasm in this second half, and they've just run straight through this Parramatta Eels side.
Yeah, it's been an amazing second half performance. But really, it was aided and abetted by Jennings' transgression on Watini Zalesniak. No, it was on Mansour in the first half. They were going to get the ball back, Parramatta, 50 metres out. The penalty that finished up going to Penrith saw them score off that set. They almost scored again before half-time. And in the second half, it's just been one-way traffic. Here they go again as Yo gets the ball. Yo runs across field and straightens up. The game changed dramatically on the Jennings error. Ball played 10 metres out. They go back the open side. Cleary, second man play. The ball is fed across. Here goes Blake again. He gets it away on the outside to Watini Zalesniak, and they're all crowing in that corner that Watini Zalesniak's gone in to score. Parramatta reckons there's the forward pass. The touch judge hasn't got a clue, and the referee hasn't got a clue either. So we're going to go to the bunker thanks to Coates Hire.
Well, the referee's saying no try. I can't believe he's got this down if he has got it down. He had absolutely no room to work in. He certainly got bundled, well, it looks to me like he's got bundled touch in goal, and there's no really rejoicing from the Panthers players here. As Wonga Blake
no disadvantage to the defensive line. We've cleared the obstruction.
Puts his foot on the line there, doesn't he?
For what? So that's what it's so hard to tell. That foot's on the line clearly, isn't it?
I think so.
Well, we can see the Penrith player touches the touch line prior to grounding. We have a decision.
Well, he hasn't just touched it. He's got half his foot on the line. In fact, the whole white line is covered up by the foot. You wonder how... the only thing you can say in defence of the touch judge is there is a part of that run which goes from shadow into sun back into shadow, and that it might have been unsided. That's the only thing you can defend him on.
I don't mind them going to the video for it, but I don't know why they have to take so long to make the decision when you can clearly see he's got his foot on the line. Just say, first time you look at it, it's no try. We've got 5 minutes 20 to go, Dave. You're pulsating stuff here.
But I suppose, to be fair to them, they were looking at an obstruction, and if there was an obstruction in all of that, of course, it's a penalty to Parramatta. So
that's a good point.
That might have been what they were looking at. So let's be fair to them. I suppose that they have actually tried to referee to the letter of the law to come up with the right decision. Parramatta with the ball. Alvaro brings the ball back, and he's going to play it 30 metres out from his own goal line. They desperately need a try here, Parramatta, to see whether they can do anything with this score line. They've hardly had the ball in Penrith territory in the second half. Just as we said, Penrith hardly had the ball down this end of the field. The game has been played at the southern end of the field for most of this game, about 85 to 90% of it. Parramatta bring it up over the halfway. Ball's played. Back it goes to Norman. A long pass comes to Moses. He's under pressure, so he hoists it high in the air into no no man's land. Edwards coming for it. Edwards takes it and is hammered for his trouble, but a great take, 15 out, or 15 short of the halfway line.
Jeez, he's been good today. He's been very good. I don't know his history, Dylan Edwards, but he looked a good player last year. He looks like he's nailed the first-grade fullback spot down for me for the season. If he doesn't get injured, he's going to have a big year. Dylan Edwards, I like him.
He looked good coming through the grades. I remember he was part of that really good under-20s team as well, Piggy, that we watched with so much interest a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he certainly was. He's been in the system for a very long time and obviously got his opportunity last year, but Daryl's right. He's been great today for Penrith. He's been tested with the high balls, but he's always been there. He's done the right thing. He's popped up in all the right places. He's had a great afternoon.
And the scoreboard at the moment, thanks to Lowe's, is 22 points to 14 in favour of Penrith over Parramatta. And Daryl Broman's got to come up with 3 players, of course, for the man of the match, the Harvey Norman and Bryden's Lawyers Man of the Match Award. And when that happens, of course, Mark Levy will give you the number to ring. Well, I know what the number is, 1300 722 873. 1300 722 873. A penalty against Parramatta for incorrect play the ball. And so here we go. Penrith will probably have a shot at goal from 22 metres out, one would think, just to run the clock down and give them a 10-point buffer.
Well, that's what I'd be doing. 3 minutes, 13 seconds to go. I mean, they could waste 2 minutes here taking the kick. They're going to do it. Parramatta, what a dispirited bunch they are. You know, so much... Well, start of the game, 14-0. I said at the time they probably should have been further in front, David. Such was their dominance.
Yep. And
the mistakes from Penrith. And it did remind me of yesterday's game, Penrith v the Warriors. They just didn't get enough in front. And exactly the same things happened. The other side has got a bit of ball. They've gained a bit of confidence. They came out with the right attitude in the second half, Penrith, and they've demolished Parramatta in the second half. They've been poor, Parramatta, in the second half. Penrith have been good.
Yeah, and please don't ring that number yet, because Daryl hasn't given you the 3 players, so I know he's ringing that number.
That's a good point.
Someone in the studio will be saying, please, just don't ring it. So I've given the number, but wait till Mark Levy gives you the get-go. He'll get the gun, he'll say, on your marks, set, bang.
You know how to start a bear race, David?
Sorry?
You know how to start a bear race?
A bear race, no?
Yeah. Ready, Teddy, go.
Oh, you're mad. You're mad. Is that what you do at home with the boys, Peggy? Ready, Teddy, go.
I haven't used that one.
Racing, call it, David.
I thought, here comes Cleary, trying to add another to his magnificent goal-kicking exploits today. And it's straight, it's high, it's there, and it's 2 more points. And this Penrith side have produced a marvellous last 50 minutes of the game. They weren't in it for 30 minutes, and all of a sudden they've turned it around, and they lead 24-14, 24 unanswered points after Parramatta had started the game with 14 straight. And it's Parramatta bringing the ball back to the halfway. Penrith in front. Penrith, who have they got next week? I know we're doing them. Out here, 5:30, Saturday afternoon. Mark Riddell and I'll be here. Penrith versus South Sydney. And then on Sunday, 2 losers from the first round. Parramatta playing Manly, traditional rivals at Manly, at Lotto Land.
Good game.
There's an attempted short kick off. Well, it certainly goes 12 metres. Guess who's there? Rising above them all. Shortest bloke on the field. But I tell you what, he's got a leap and a half. He goes higher than Sotomayor, this bloke. His name's Edwards. And he certainly took that ball brilliantly. He's the world record holder for the high jump, by the way.
Who is Sotomayor?
Sotomayor.
Sotomayor.
So,
where's he from?
From Cuba.
Okay. The Cubans are always, they're good at 2 things, smoking cigars and high jumps.
I thought you were going to say smoking something else for a moment. Very good boxers. They dominated boxing and baseball, because I think they won the baseball for years in the Olympics as well, before they let the pros play. Open side, the ball comes away to Cleary, and Cleary gets it on. And Harawira-Naira, he got away initially from the first defender. He can't get away, though, in the end. Mahu puts him down. They go back to the right side, and here's this man, Nathan Cleary again. He went racing round the short side, and they came across and cover, and he said, you can run into me, push me across the touchline, and it'll be a handover to Parramatta. Penrith are just taking their time. Parramatta taking their time because there's 40 seconds to go on the clock. Parramatta will go 80 metres to score a try. And I'm not really sure that they're that interested. I think they just want to get into the sheds and get ready for next week. Penrith, of course, have got another home game against South Sydney here. Gee, won't that be a cracking match?
Well, what? Oh, there's a few. What about Parramatta and Manly, both last start losers at Lotto Land? That'll be a cracking game. And we'll be there, Davey.
Well, I'm looking forward to one battle in that game next week.
What battle?
Penrith and South Sydney.
Yes.
The battle on the right side, or the right side from Penrith, Wonga Blake versus Greg Inglis. That'll be an interesting little contest in itself. Here's Parramatta, the last throw of the dice. The ball goes to Kane Evans. He grabs it, accepts the tackle. It's all over. Parramatta have gone down in the opening match of the season after leading 14 points to 0. The final scoreboard, thanks to Lowe's, Penrith 24, Parramatta 14. Penrith were behind 14-6 at half-time, but they've come back in their second half. They've scored 18 unanswered points in the second stanza, and in fact that's probably flattering to Parramatta, because there's no way in the world Parramatta ever really looked like scoring anything in this second half. And I think it's fair to say, Darryl, that we're at the northern end of the ground and we hardly saw any football except by looking to our right in the second half of the game. Two tries to Wonga Blake, one to Kickow, and Cleary in the end managed to come up with, what did he come up with in the end? 6 goals?
6 from 6, I think.
6 from 6. Parramatta, 2 tries to Hoffman and 1 to Corey Norman. 1 goal to Moses. He kicked 1 from 2. Norman was unsuccessful with his only attempted goal. And in the end, it was a comfortable victory to the Panthers. 24 points to 14 after I said trailing at half-time, 14 points to 6. Let's go down to Mark Riddell.
Yeah, down here with Nathan Cleary. Nathan, great to get off to a good start.
Yeah, it was awesome out here, packed house. Yeah, it's just great to get a win, you know. It's been working hard all pre-season, now to come out and get it done. Round one's good.
You spoke about pre-season. There's been a lot of talk about, players not being happy. It's just so nice, I suppose, from your point of view, just to come out, put in a good performance, get the 2 points.
Oh, 100%. We knew inside the club that we weren't unhappy. We were happy the whole pre-season, and to come out and kind of prove everyone wrong, it's good today.
Mate, talk to us about the game. Parramatta get away to a 14-0 lead. You get that try to Wonga Blake just before half-time. Is that what gave you the confidence going into the break?
Yeah, I think so, but I think we were kind of confident even 14-0 down, We were just giving them too many piggybacks, and that's why they were in our end, but we just got that try, it gave us a bit of confidence, and then came rearing down in the second half.
Yeah, mate, in that second half, it just looked like you simplified things. Your big men, Regan Campbell, Gillard in particular, just charged forward. You were able to play off the back of it. You had them on the back foot from there.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Our middle just kind of tore through that forward pack in the second half there. Big Billy Army Kickout was on fire, and it just kind of makes our jobs a bit easier. But yeah, far out, they were on fire.
Congratulations, Nathan. Well done.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, far out, they were on fire.
The young man of the day. He's a great player, isn't he? He's a good player. Fantastic performance from him today. There's a few of them. I don't know if you want to go to the.
Yeah, I think he's going to go and grab the fullback, who also had an unbelievable game, Piggy.
Yeah, he certainly had an unbelievable game this afternoon. Dylan Edwards must have enjoyed that one, in particular the second half.
Yeah, definitely. Made it pretty tough on ourselves in the first half. A couple of errors on my part, but definitely happy with the result.
Yeah, what was the coach like at half-time? What was his main message?
No, he said cool. He sort of said to us, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, and if we got a fair share of possession in the second half, we'll be right in it, and that's what happened.
Mate, your own game, they found it very hard to control you. You made a few really good breaks. You took every bomb that they tested you with. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, it was a good little first hit out. Off to a shaky start there, but that was always going to happen, and just lucky to get away with the win.
What about next week? It must be handy. You're home this week. You're at home next week against South. If you can pick up 2 points there, it's a very good start to the season.
Yeah, South will be pretty good next week, I'd imagine. They just got done yesterday, but they'll come out firing next week, so it'll be a really good test for us.
Well, congratulations on the game this afternoon. Well done.
Thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, Mark Piggy Riddell there speaking with Dylan Edwards, the fullback from the Penrith Panthers. The stats, of course, brought to you by On Deck, and the most important stat in the game, Penrith 24 defeating Parramatta 14, 3 tries apiece, but the difference in the end, the goal kicking of young Nathan Cleary, who also produced a gem of a pass to put Wonga Blake away for a try down the right side of the field. Of course, still one game to come, and the man who is very heavily involved in the call of that game will be none other than Mark Levy.
Thank you very much, Davey. That footy tab pick the score dividend has come through as well. $253.80. $253.80. And that official crowd at Penrith, 21,500. Now time for the man of the match. Thanks to Harvey Norman and Bryden's lawyers. Shortly 3 players who are in the running. When you hear them, be one of the first 3 callers through on the 2GB prize line. 1300 722 873. The first caller will have first choice of the 3 players and so on until all players are allocated. Then when I announce the continuous call team's man of the match, the caller who has that player will win $150 thanks to Bryden's Lawyers. 1300 722 873 for your chance to win. All thanks to Bryden's Lawyers and Harvey Norman. Big man, who are your three players in the running for the man of the match?
Viliami Kikau, Wonga Blake and Nathan Cleary.
Nathan Cleary, Wonga Blake, Viliami Kikau. Go to the phones right now, folks. 1300 722 873, and we'll tidy up that man of the match competition in just a moment. Darryl, just a quick comment on the Penrith Panthers. They clawed their way back in that second half to win, and, that's what you want to start the season with, a victory. Parramatta go back to the drawing board, turn their attention to next weekend. Mitchell Moses sent to the sin bin, and just listening to your call on the way home, it sounded like a pretty entertaining game of football.
Oh, it was a great game. Second half was a terrific. If you're a Penrith supporter, second half was fantastic. Parramatta were never in the second half, and I'm not going to wrap ourselves too heavily, but I will. You could tell from the start of the second half that they just weren't in the game. They lost, for some reason it appeared to me as though the Eels had lost interest in the game. Penrith started with a nice set, couple of big runs. The big front row, Campbell Gillard, right from the start. They got up the other end, scored a try, kicked the goal. So within the space of, probably 10 minutes at the end of the first half, the start of the second half, instead of being down 14-0, it was 14-12. And from that moment onwards, they never lost their grip on the game. They were too good. It was a terrific effort from them. They'd be disappointed, though, Parramatta, I think. That was a nice start for them, but they just weren't good enough at the end of the day. So big congratulations to the Panthers. Good effort second half.
Well said. Stay with me, boys. I'll take a break and come back and we'll tidy up that man of the match competition, and I'll let you guys go because we're 20 minutes away from the Gold Coast and Canberra. Just repeating that team news for the Titans. Nothing to report. 1-17 for the Raiders. Blake Austin will start at 5'8" and jumper number 14. Aidan Caesar goes back to the bench. Sia Soliola, he starts in the front row. Junior Paulo will drop back to the bench, and that game coming up in about 20 minutes from now. But just repeating, full time at Panthers Stadium, Penrith defeating the Parramatta side by 24 points to 14 in front of 21,500 people. Footy Tab picked the score, $253.80. We'll take a break. When we come back, Darryl Broman will announce his man of the match for Harvey Norman and Bryden's Lawyers.
When it comes to relieving pain and improving mobility, the word on everyone's lips, or should I say hips and elbows and knees, is Healthy Care Turmeric. That's because Healthy Care Turmeric may temporarily relieve pain associated with mild arthritis and mild osteoarthritis. It may also reduce joint inflammation, thereby improving mobility and movement. Ask about Healthy Care Turmeric at Chemist Warehouse, where it's exclusively sold for just $17.99. Always read the label, use only as directed. If symptoms persist, consult your healthcare professional. Chemist Warehouse, lowest prices guaranteed.
Make sure you tune in to the Be That Business Show, sponsored by Telstra. It's your weekly go-to for everything tech and the very latest in advice for small businesses. That's this Wednesday night from 9 on 2GB.
Masterton Homes has been at the forefront of design for over 55 years. And to showcase this commitment to innovation, Masterton is constantly unveiling exciting new homes at our Warwick Farm Display Village. Come and admire the 4 newest designs, including double, single, duplex and granny flat. There are 16 fabulous homes in total. Visit the Masterton Homes Display Village this weekend. Hume Highway, Warwick Farm. Find out more at masterton.com.au.
At AH Beard, we've been helping people get a better night's sleep for 118 years. In fact, we've made it our mission. That's why we invest so much time in research and development. That's why we're innovators, not only in mattresses, but in holistic sleep solutions. And that's why we've created the 6-week Sleep Challenge to help you start your journey to a better night's sleep. AH Beard, more than just a bed, we're the experts in sleep. Visit ahbeard.com or your local bedding specialist.
So, you grind or clench your teeth when you sleep. Protect your teeth from the daily grind with the Night Guard at a fraction of the cost of buying from a dental clinic. Order your custom guard today at thenightguard.com.au. That's night with a K, thenightguard.com.au.
The Continuous Cold Team on 2GB, thanks to BF Goodrich Tyres, Rebel, Australian Hammer Supplies, McDonald's and World First.
Well, welcome back. The Continuous Call Team, full-time at Panthers Stadium. Penrith 24, Parramatta 14. 21,500 people out there today. $253.80 Footy Tab picked the score. The big man is still with me, so too David Morrow. Darryl, Luke at Panania went with Wonga Blake. Barry at Thornton. Nathan Cleary. Jeff in Brisbane. Viliami Kikau. Who's your man of the match for Harvey Norman and Bryden's Lawyers?
It was a really tough decision, but I think at the end of the day, Nathan Cleary was probably the best player. He kicked 6 from 6. I think he set up couple of tries. He was tremendous today. He was threatening all day, and as much as Kickow probably changed the game, and Blake's performance was great. I love the fullback's performance. I'm going with Nathan Cleary.
All right, thank you, Daryl. So Barry at Thornton, you nominated Nathan Cleary, who is the continuous call team's man of the match. Thanks to Bryden's Lawyers and Harvey Norman, that player's won a $200 Harvey Norman gift card, and you've won $150 from Bryden's Lawyers, protecting your future on and off the field. And we'll give you another chance to win with this game that's coming up between the Gold Coast and Canberra. David, Nathan Cleary developing into a very, very good young player, and the arrival of James Maloney, we should mention, he started off his Panthers career again with a victory. So he's got a habit of winning games, isn't he? And he'll really compliment Nathan Cleary.
He has, and of course this young fullback, as Daryl said, he did a job, and Wallace did a job. So they're the most important players on the field if your forwards are going forward, which is what they did in the second half. And they've got something here. The interesting thing, this is how well Penrith played in the second half. Harawira and Nair only came on for a few minutes. Leota started the game, came off midway through the first half. They're now doing a huge training session because the coach said, well, they didn't spend many minutes playing, which says, really, Penrith won this game with a rotation of 15, maybe 15 and a half, which just says how well they played in that second half.
There's a lot of people on the email, boys, saying well done to the referees for sending Mitchell Moses to the sin bin. We've seen in the past the referees take the easy option and leave players on the field, but I don't think they were left with any other option. He had to be given his marching orders for the 10 minutes for a professional foul.
Yeah, well, he did. It was a professional foul. It prevented Penrith from scoring a try. There was no doubts about that. Picky's with us too, by the way, Mark, if you need him. So there's no risk. I mean, there's Daryl. If a professional foul is a professional foul.
They could have sent someone else. I mean, they could have gone earlier, but I think they did it right there. I think the refereeing was pretty good today.
All right, well, just before you go, Picky, I'll start with you. The game that's coming up, Gold Coast, Canberra. Garth Brennan, former Penrith Panthers assistant coach. He gets his first crack as an NRL coach. They come up against the Canberra Raiders. I've mentioned those changes. Austin to start, with Caesar going back to the bench. Junior Paulo goes back to the bench as well with Sia Soliola to start. Who do you like on this one for Macca's, Pigster?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Gold Coast Titans. I like the coach, Garth Brennan, that you mentioned. I like the staff and the players they've recruited. I think they can kick their season off well. I think they're going to win.
What about you, big man, for Macca's?
Canberra 13 plus.
13 plus.
I think it as I see it there.
Confidently. What about you, Davey?
Gee, after that, you've got to tip Canberra. Look, I've tipped Canberra, but it's only because I'm not sure that this Gold Coast side's ready yet. Brennan will get them ready in the second half of the season. They'll be playing some good footy, but I'll go with the Raiders first up.
Good stuff. Hey, boys, I thoroughly enjoyed listening to your call on the way back to the studio. You blokes are pretty good, just quietly.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, we know.
Davey's learning well.
We're getting him there.
You know what? Me and Peggy are just dragging him up to our level. It's not going to be easy.
Are we dragging up or down?
Either way.
Now, how did I go at half time? Did I get everything right? Is that
yeah, no, you were pretty good
Brilliant.
at half time.
Mate, you nailed it. You know what's funny? I got back here in time, so I made great time in the end to get back here just as half time started. And I thought, go for your life, Davey. This is a big opportunity. What am I talking about? You've been doing it for 40 years. Well done, fellas. I'll let you head off. Piggy, well done to young Harry, too, on the big day playing out there at halftime in the New South Wales Cup. I'm sure he'll be ready and waiting to tell you all about it when you get home. Good on you, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Well done, big man. You've had a big weekend. We'll see you Friday night.
Bye-bye.
See you, legend. Bye. And Davey, you rest up, mate, because you've got a few games to call next weekend as well.
Yeah, I have, including one here at Penrith against South Sydney.
Oh, don't you love a trip to Penrith? See you, buddy.
Righto, mate.
Have a good night, mate. So that's the details there at Penrith Stadium. Full-time in the end. Panthers over Parramatta by 24 points to 14. And our man of the match for Harvey Norman and Bryden's Lawyers, Nathan Cleary. We'll take a break. When we come back, Chris Warren will join me from the interactive studio to call the Gold Coast Titans and the Canberra Raiders from Cbus Super Stadium. That's to wrap up round number 1.